Go.
New Year, New Me, Casual Conversations, Episode 2. And I'm here with my friend, Anthony Montalbano, but it's Monty.
Hey now.
Now, one thing, I haven't seen you in a while, but one thing that I first asked you when I saw you was about Star Wars. You wanted to say that for the podcast. So now, let's fucking talk about it. So what did you think of The Last Jedi?
I've only seen it once. It's
Same.
It's enjoyable, but it's not Star Wars. It's not.
I mean, it's like if it's because to me it's like they did Star Wars like they did the Avengers because there was forced comedy through it. I will say the first.
Oh, with Poe. Oh my God.
I don't like. I like Poe a little more this time, but I'll tell you what I don't like. Skipping to the end of it. Oh wait. Spoiler. This whole thing is me about spoiler about The Last Jedi. So if you haven't seen The Last Jedi, I would not listen to this podcast.
It's a spoiler.
Sorry about that. Anyways, if they make Poe the love interest of Rey, I don't heated. I mean, dead heated. I don't like romance in my Star Wars. Well, sorry.
Well, what was it? In the first movie, it was all about, The Force Awakens. It was all about Rey and Finn. But no, they can't be together. But as soon as the black guy meets an Asian woman, that's perfectly fine. They can kiss.
Well, to me is when I saw I was saying I didn't want Finn and Rey to be together because I don't like romance in my Star Wars. Even with Han and Leia in the original trilogy, there was kind of they liked each other. And there's a couple awkward moments to it, but to me, Rey and Finn just seemed like they were good friends through circumstance, and that they were fighting through this war together, and they cared about each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I took it as. And then it's not I don't know, but
what
with
I thought
her
was
and Poe,
strange just with Rey and Poe, they didn't at any point in the time between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, they didn't meet at all, because at the end of The Last Jedi, Poe introduces himself to Rey.
Well, if you think about it, in Force, because I watched Force Awakens right before I saw Last Jedi, but did she even meet the Resistance at all in the Force Awakens before the end of the movie?
Before the end, no.
So I feel like that would have been the only time, because she literally goes from Starkiller Base to the Resistance, but right as soon as they find where Luke Skywalker is, she goes directly to him. So she didn't really mingle or anything. So I can kind of see how she didn't meet him, because there are a lot of people there, a lot of people. And also he isn't for
the main roles that they both had. I feel like they would have at least
Rey doesn't even
bumped shoulders in the hallway.
But maybe. But also, I will say with Last Jedi, my favorite part about Last Jedi was Luke. I know some people did not like Luke as the better old man. It made sense to me. Not only did he fail his favorite student, that favorite student was not only his sister's kid, that was his best friend's kid too. So that's a triple threat right there. So I can understand why he's better. And also seeing that hatred of him, and then seeing it in Rey, and then no!
What was it? It was when... Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. It was when Chewbacca picked up Rey.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that cutscene?
In the second movie, in the Force Awakens, in the Last Jedi, yep. They were on that site, that random planet Luke was on, that were the original Jedi Temple.
Well, no, but how did she get to?
How did she get to Luke?
No, how did she get to Kylo Ren? I forget about that.
In the second movie, so they were on their way back, and then she shot off to go meet Kylo. She was like, I know that's good in him or something like that.
Right. Chewie flew her and she dropped in some pod, something or other.
Yes. I remember that. And I also like to talk about, like, in terms of, I was saying I don't like the Force comedy. My favorite comedy bits in the whole movie was all the Luke stuff. Like, do you remember how the Force Awakens and he's just like handing him the lightsaber, and then he just like hugs it. It looks so bitter, and then he just storms off. Or that, or at the end when they're like, fire the cannons, and then all the snort comes up, and he just like wipes the shoulder, like dust off his shoulder. I'm like, that's my Luke.
At the beginning, it was funny. Just yes, I'm on hold for General Hux. Yes, I'll hold. He just continues on with that gambit. But again, it was really Force, and it was the same way in The Force Awakens too, with Poe being captured at the very start.
You talk first. I talk first. You talk first.
Yeah.
My friend Corey talked about like how he should have died right there. Kylo Ren should have killed him. I actually I was telling me about is originally Poe was supposed to die. But the actor who played Poe is like apparently all his roles he ends up dying at the beginning of the movie, and he's just sick of always dying at the beginning of the movie. So he goes to I think J.J. Abrams did the first movie, and it was like, hey man, I don't want to die. Can you just let me live? And that's how we have him. Yeah.
Oh, that's Bobo. So they had to completely rewrite Star Wars.
I mean, Poe wasn't. They really didn't have to rewrite. They kept him alive, I guess, but like they didn't really have to.
They gave him a character arc in The Last Jedi.
Unless I mean, like I will say, like from what I've heard, that they didn't really have anything planned out. The people who would kind of like are in charge of this trilogy aren't even like thinking that far ahead.
How can you not?
That's what I said. I mean, like the article I read it from is like I take with like not like a grain of salt, like a spoonful of salt, because like no, they're like very anti things. So I haven't been able to find the article since I read it, so it could have been taken down. So, but nonetheless, I read that they didn't read too much into it. So that's kind of why it might have been easy for him. But I mean, Poe did have a better role in the second movie. I didn't mind him as much as the second movie. He was cool. He was like the rebellious military guy. I use the word military very loosely. I just say it because he's part of like the resistance force. But nonetheless, he was going against command for what he thinks right. That lady was a cunt, by the way, with the purple hair. Didn't like her.
But she was the first in I believe at least the cinematic history to kamikaze a starship.
Well, dude, I just watched Rogue One about a month ago. And do you remember like that part where like they hit one Empire ship into another Empire ship?
Oh, when they collided?
Yeah. See, like I think that was so much cooler.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. Because like you're literally like it's like why are you punching yourself? Why are you punching yourself? But also, I will say the one thing I did not see coming, my jaw dropped, is when he killed Snoke. Did not see that coming.
Snoke probably had the best character out of the entire past two films.
I love Kylo Ren now. He's just because like I don't think he's truly evil. I don't because like there is like Ray says there's struggle within him, but like I feel that struggle is just kind of like he's powerful because he's obsessed with his grandfather, and so he just wants to be as great as his grandfather, but like he doesn't realize that what his grandfather was doing in the end he was against. Then again, like I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan. Like I just bought the original trilogy on Blu-ray, so I really want to rewatch that again. The prequels I'll get to because I will say like unpopular opinion. My favorite of all the Star Wars movies is Revenge of the Sith. Then it goes.
Is it really?
Then it goes Return of the Jedi, Empire, New Hope, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones.
Like Snoke just had such a charisma to him. Like he was evil and he reveled in every moment of it.
Remember like when you saw him like in person for the first time, he was talking to Kylo, it was like, take off that mask. Because like there is like
pulls an angsty teen moment like he did in The Force Awakens. What do you think you'll see?
Well, also too is that like that mask for Kylo Ren was just purely for Darth Vader needed his mask, right? He had problems. He doesn't.
It's just aesthetic with Star Wars now, I think, where all the villains need masks.
Well,
or at least main villains, because clearly it's not Snoke.
I will say too though, some of my points that like things that will turn me off from seeing Star Wars movies that like progress the timeline like past like whatever 9 is, or is that if they put Ray and Poe together, I won't watch future Star Wars movies. If they say that Ray is somehow related to is somehow Kylo Ren's brother or sister. I'm not gonna watch it because like right now I really like the idea that her parents were just some no names that just sold her off. Because in a way that relates, it relates her to like to Anakin in the way that like Anakin's mother was just some no name. Right. My friends remind me that like for people who are born force sensitive, it's completely random. It's not always like by lineage. It's not like so. The fact that it's random people, it
in a way it wouldn't surprise me though. Because, I mean, the past 2 films have been really similar in a lot of ways to the to the first couple of movies.
Well, my friend's talking about, like, this, he's probably going to listen to this. He's like, see, I told you, is the ring theory about how all the movies mimic one another. I can't remember. It's just a whole, like, huge thing to look up online. If I had, like, a computer person here, I'd have him look it up.
Well, it was the same thing with the prequels.
Well, it was like so. It starts with like the prequels, and then after the prequels, all the prequel movies had related. So 1 and 6 relate, 4, 2 and 5 relate, and 3 and 4 relate. God, it's some crazy thing. I wish I could remember it, but I don't want to botch the theory, or whatnot.
What? Not the.
But how like they mimic each other, like how like there are certain events that happen in one movie that it mimics in another movie.
I'm still waiting for Rey to lose her hand. I'm still waiting for it.
Do you think Rey's gonna lose her hand? Or do you think Kylo's gonna lose a hand? Kylo is so wants to be Darth Vader. He'll probably cut off his own hand. I love my grandfather. Also, like, I read some, like, one of the things that threw me off about the new...
That's how he cuts himself. He's just with his tri-blade lightsabers.
He starts with the fingers, and then he starts with the whole hand, then he just makes him way up. But one of the things that threw me off was, like, before I saw Last Jedi, IGN posted an article saying, where are the lightsabers now? Like, what do you mean where are the lightsabers now? And then I watched the movie, it was like that. I didn't read the article, but that article title makes no sense. I know where all the lightsabers are. The original like lightsaber that Rey handed to him is broken. Kylo's lightsaber still with him. I guess the only lightsaber you really kind of have to question is where is Luke's green lightsaber? You know, they show him use it in like the flashback, so he has it.
Oh, in a flashback. Okay, well.
But also too, somebody Rian Johnson. The director, I think he wrote it too, talked about like why Luke looked the way he did when he was an illusion fighting Kylo. He was like he wanted to fight Kylo in the way that Kylo knew him, so he didn't look like the old guy. He looked like last time I saw him. He used like the lightsaber that his grandfather used. It's kind of taunting because he loves his grandfather. And so it's like that's why in Force Awakens he kind of like that's my lightsaber, it belongs to me or whatever, and it's because that's kind of his birthright. He's like I will finish what he started.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna go back to the way Luke was in that last fight scene. There was a point in the movie where he and Rey had a slight struggle, and Rey pushed down Luke, and he kind of used the Force to stop himself right before he crushed his back against a flight of stairs, like those stone steps.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of lingered on that shot for a moment, so it made me think like this is important somehow. Where is Luke going to use the Force again in the future? And then on that salt planet, he wasn't making that red mark. Like he was not touching the ground. So I thought he's using the Force to move somehow. So he's moving faster with the Force, but then the whole he's not even there.
Well, because also like Luke cut himself off from the Force. That's something that I kind of forget too. Like that's why he didn't know Han Solo died.
But then has enough Force prowess to send a projection, which has never been done before.
Yeah, see,
to the best of my knowledge.
See, I wonder what that was about too. Because I really do want to see the movie again. It's kind of like
I do too. I should.
Well, when you see like really intense movies like that, it's always good to see them twice. Like when you see a comedy, you know the jokes are coming and whatnot, but when you see like a very like action drama like that, like watching like I could watch John Wick so many more times just because like every time you just kind of see, oh my god, look how he fucked up that guy. Like you realize how like each person he fucked up.
Pencil.
the pencil. Yo, dude, I can't wait for John Wick 3. That's gonna be great. But just I'm very concerned. Not concerned. I'm very curious to see where Star Wars 9 goes. Because I realized too is that like there's no new characters I care about besides Kylo Ren. I mean, Rey's alright. I know I'm against Rey. She's pretty cool, I guess. I liked Finn more in the first one than this Last Jedi and Force Awakens Last Jedi. Because Last Jedi, it was just kind of like showing his romance with that Asian chick, who that terrible line's like, "We don't fight the things we hate. We protect the things we love."
Well, those two, Finn and Rose, their whole little side adventure, if you'll call it that, it was just for a 2-second gambit where they helped the children.
Stand by, we're just pushing the mic up a little bit so we could hear Monty a little bit better.
Sorry. But no, so that whole little side trip, it was just for the kids. It was just for episode 9 where they inspire the next generation.
Also, too, and talked about things that we didn't see. Where the fuck are the Knights of Ren? Like, that's the thing they talked about.
Red soldiers guarding Snoke.
See, that's what I thought they were, but I think those are just kind of like
his personal guard.
Yeah, personal guards and shit like that. But because like people who are the Knights of Ren, because they were in the Jedi training, so they're also Force users. None of those other people use the Force when they're fighting. Because if I were Force sensitive, I would be using the Force when I'm fighting two other like a Sith and Jedi. Which, if you want to look at technicality, Kylo Ren was never a Sith either. He never had a Darth in his name.
No. Neither did Snoke, but he used Force lightning. Isn't that solely for the Sith?
Yes, yes.
Or like a mark of the Sith somehow.
Also, somebody I was talking before is how like first of all when they brought up Yoda, which got me really hyped. I was really excited about that.
I wasn't hyped. I was taken by surprise in a bad way.
Really? You didn't like it?
No, I just.
Did that fall down?
Didn't make sense at all. I felt.
Let's see.
That's better.
Now we can hear you now. But you know, like the Yoda they used was actually the original puppet.
Okay.
Which I thought that was really cool because like
I did not know that. That's kind of fun.
It's because I heard that through remember Dane from AI. He has a podcast called The Men Who Sit. I'm pretty sure
really?
he taught that. I watched part of their thing on our lunch break, and they were mentioning about that, and I think it has to do with how, because that was Luke seeing Yoda, and how Luke saw Yoda is how we saw Yoda, which was the puppet version. So by us seeing puppet Yoda is also like it's like a cool full circle thing.
It's also in like the timeline too. I mean, the younger, quote unquote, from the prequels,
like the CGI Yoda,
right? It's not the same as the older puppet Yoda. So I thought, okay, that's kind of nice.
It was that was cool. First I was saying before is that like they should just erase Last Jedi, just make the whole 9 just about Luke, and just call it Luke, kind of like how Luke was called Logan.
Just pull an X-Men Last Stand.
That's how I saw Luke Skywalker was Old Man Luke. That's what I wanted, because I really like how he was, because he was like, I remember him saying before, and he was like, Luke's supposed to be the optimistic guy. He would never turn his back on the Jedi. Like, well, Mark Hamill, you've never failed your sister's kid, and that's also your best friend's kid, who's also your best student.
Luke just turns into Logan. Just starts killing everybody.
Yeah. Which, Logan is one of my favorite movies. I know you said you want to talk about that before a little bit, but I will let everyone know that Logan's my favorite movie. Like, I will gladly admit.
It's gotta be up top for me as well.
I'll gladly admit, I cried. I cried. I had tears going down my face. And it's like when the whole, he gets... Spoilers. Spoilers, yeah. He gets, he fights a clone of himself, and he gets like thrown down on a tree trunk, like stabbed through his whole like middle part of his body. And then at this point, you know, he's holding adamantium. He used a chemical that really spiked his powers, but then like brought it to an all-time low. So he can't regenerate at this point. So he's just dying there. And then he's holding X-23's hand, that's basically his daughter, and saying some whole like like what I'm saying before, how it's like great action and great drama. It's just hit me. And then at the very end, the kids bury him and they put a cross and they say some words and they all walk away. And then she just X-23 Sanders takes the cross and puts it inside to an X. I'm like, that's fucking beautiful.
That's where I got choked up right there.
Because I saw a meme and it was like the cross is for Logan, the X is for Wolverine. I'm like,
The feels.
The feels. And like, but here's the thing too. Now that Disney owns the X-Men now, is that Hugh Jackman has said he will return as Wolverine if Wolverine could be in the X-Men.
The X-Men or the Avengers?
The Avengers. In the Avengers,
okay.
yeah. Because like, I mean, I wouldn't be offended if they ask him, he still says no. But I have an idea for that. Stand by, people.
Mike again.
I think it's just too much weight, so we're just gonna do that.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, tighten it up and then bring that closer to you.
Just gonna keep a handle right here.
Yeah. I will be getting better stuff for future podcast people, so there will be less of these, you know, little standby moments. But anyways, in terms of the X-Men movies, it makes me really comfortable that like Disney has said that they will continue doing rated R movies if that's what people want, because that is what people want. It's because like when you see, I mean, like, can you see it? Like, can you imagine Deadpool being watered down to a PG-13?
I don't want that.
Exactly. It's just because like they're
And to quote,
well, because even with
Deadpool,
Marvel comics,
no
you know,
one wants
you see comics that are like there are some more geared toward the younger audiences. Then you have shit like other Marvel comics that are geared toward older, like Marvel Max, Marvel Max Punisher. It's fucking intense. I've only read a little bit of it, but goddamn, I mean, imagine anything with Punisher is really going to be intense. Really.
I think it should be at least.
Did you see the Punisher TV? Did you watch all of it?
Of course.
Spoiler alert: how he fucks up Billy Russo makes me cringe.
I watched it, and then my dad started watching it too, and I told him like, there will be a part where you just go, oh my god, oh no, and that's exactly what he did. I was up in my room and I hear him from his room watching it, and I started laughing.
Okay, and if you don't care and you're still listening to this, the Punisher takes his dude, smashes his face against a mirror where it's broken, and then starts sliding.
His face.
Oh, God. And even the other guy, he fucking, like, thumbs his eyeballs in.
Oh, the CIA guy?
Yeah, fuck that guy. He's pissing me off the entire time. I always think it's really good of an actor when they do such a good job where I hate them personally.
Yep.
Like Penelope Cruz. I will always hate Penelope Cruz because have you seen the movie Blow by Johnny Depp?
I have not. No.
It's so he's a he sells cocaine, and toward the end of the movie, he's driving with Penelope Cruz, and she's just bitching at him, yelling at him, and then basically she gets him pulled over, and that's how he gets caught. And it's just kind of like she just acts like a total bitch throughout the whole movie. It just makes now it's just kind of like if I ever see Penelope Cruz, like, hey, I think you're a great actress, but I fucking hate you. Or like the and Luke Cage. The actress who plays Mariah Dillard.
Yep.
I hate her.
She was great.
She's great. I think she's a great actress. She's so great that I actually hate her personally. Because like I hate Mariah Dillard so much. She's like.
Well, what was it? The two people from Game of Thrones, the actors for Joffrey and Cersei, like they were being spit on the street by just random people, and for a acting job for a performance.
I've never seen Game of Thrones, so what do they do?
It's the mother and son. Joffrey is the son of her and her brother.
Yeah.
So, product of incest. Yay, Game of Thrones. But he's just this pompous little shit, and everyone knows it, and everyone hates him for it. And and she's just this evil, conniving witch, but she is such a great and powerful character. And they're hated. Their characters are hated as the villain should be.
Yeah.
But it's to that same degree where it's just pure.
One of my favorite things, like the one reason why I hate Mariah Dillard so much, the job is that she killed Cottonmouth. And Cottonmouth was probably like one of my favorite villains, because I know it's all my favorite Marvel villains and like the whole like cinematic universe, including Netflix stuff. Is I only like the Netflix villains because there's not many movie villains that stick around. Because Thanos has been in the background throughout all of it, and Loki, he's just kind of been there. He's a little shithead. I mean, I enjoy him. I enjoy his presence, but like he's the only one, because I can't think of anyone. Ultron's gone. Anyone the guy in Iron Man movies. Winter Soldier wasn't really a bad guy. I don't know what happened to Zemo, and we got locked up. I haven't seen Spider-Man, so I don't know what happened to those people.
You haven't seen Homecoming yet?
No.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm slacking.
That one's worth watching.
I hear a lot of good things about it. Did you hear the rumors that some people think that they're gonna kill Peter Parker in the Infinity Wars, and that they're gonna put Miles Morales in? And
doesn't Peter Parker, or I don't know if it's Peter Parker or not, but Spider-Man nonetheless beat Thanos. Like he outsmarts him somehow.
I didn't really read that much into the Infinity War comics and whatnot.
Like I don't read the comics, and I'm not the. I mean, I appreciate them for what they are, and I love it, but I'm not knowledgeable. But I know my family members are. I have a lot of friends that are like you, but
are you interested in reading the comics? Like, would you read the comics if you had easy accessibility to them?
Yeah.
One of the things is like I need to re-up on it, but I'm just waiting for like when I really have a hankering to read comics. Is Marvel Unlimited? It's like a Netflix of comics. It's $60 for a full year, and you have access to all their comics. Like I read OG X-Men from 1963.
You've told me about that before. I forgot about it. I'm glad that you brought that up, but I forgot about that.
Well, because that's why I read to like one of the things I really want to see with like the whole like Deadpool universe things of like movies is like the X-Force. I'm really excited for the X-Force. I know even Ryan Reynolds he kind of wanted to do an X-Force movie before he did Deadpool 2. It's because he's a fan of it, but you know, they'd have to introduce more characters. So X-Force, excuse me, if you fellows aren't familiar with it, is a more militant branch of the X-Men where they do a lot more like strike missions and like they gotta take things down. And also from the X-Force that I was reading, it was when it was led by Wolverine, they just kill people. They don't give a fuck. The first brand of X-Force comics I read was Cyclops hired Wolverine and as like a secret thing, and then as soon as they got found out, because Cyclops got in a lot of trouble at the time. He was dating Emma Frost. I don't know why. I feel like
Cyclops.
Yeah, Cyclops is the douchiest X-Men ever. If you don't know that, or if you disagree, then fuck you. He is. Name someone more douchier than I can't.
I'm not knowledgeable enough. I don't know.
So then he tries to break off the X-Force, and then because originally Wolverine didn't want to do it, but then after he did it, Wolverine realized that there's a need for it. Then he brought back the X-Force with a new team, and this team consisting of Deadpool, and this is when Deadpool wears the white and black outfit, which I think is really cool. And in this one, they do some even like edgier shit. They kill a kid.
Oh.
So. I mean, you know Apocalypse, right? The big bad guy.
Oh yeah.
So after he died, he somehow got resurrected, but he's starting from small. So they find Kid Apocalypse, and so the whole X-Force team confront Kid Apocalypse and his protectors. They're like, "What should we do?" And like I think I forgot the character's name. It was Olivia Munn's character in X-Men Apocalypse. If you know who I'm talking about, Psylocke's her name. She was like, he's only a kid. He doesn't know any better. We could raise him to be a better person so he doesn't become that monster we all know. And then other people are like, no, we need to kill him now. He doesn't matter. And then I can't remember if it was this Deadpool, this other dude named Phantom X. They just, in the middle of the conversation, just shot him in the head. I'm like, no.
Just executed.
And I was like, yeah, like it's like you guys couldn't decide, so I decided for you.
That's awesome.
I mean, I think that was the right decision. I mean, I don't usually support killing kids in any other way besides an abortion, but
And there's the fucking real shit.
It was that real shit you were talking about, but Louis C.K. has a good joke about like abortion. Just like, look, if you know, there is someone inside of you, and women should have the right to decide to kill people that are inside of them that they don't want to be inside of them. I'm like, yeah, I believe you. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be talking about Louis C.K. about the whole like all the trouble he's getting into because from like all these sexual allegations and shit.
Oh, is he in the mix of this now?
I mean, the thing that the thing he's getting in trouble for, even I knew about, but now he's getting in trouble. Basically, he just jerked off in front of people. I mean, it's still not don't jerk off in front of people unless they want you to. But like, he would kind of like stand in people's rooms, stand in the one, and just jerk off in front of them and shit. Or like, I think another thing I heard, I didn't read too much into it. I know what happened. And that's all I need to know. But essentially, is that he would. I think there's another time he called someone. The person on the phone was like, "Are you jerking off right now?" I'm like, "Yeah."
See, but were these jokes that he just performed, or were they actual
no, like
events?
I mean, these are actual events. Like I don't think he didn't talk about it as stand-up, but these are things that people in the comedy world kind of knew about. This isn't my business because I don't really know. I'm not in that business, so I wouldn't really know. I mean, it doesn't. At the end of the day, it doesn't affect my life. It sucks for them. I can't do anything about it. I'm no Avenger.
No Avenger.
Also, quick update. My last episode, I said I think that Thor is gonna die. I saw an article saying that he finished up his parts in Avengers 4 and that he still wants to be Thor. So I'm like, shit, he doesn't die in this one. So Vision is gonna die. He has to die. In Captain America, some people disagree. I say he has to die because I feel that will also push Tony Stark over the edge because he's already like feeling shitty about things where he left off with Captain. You know, he's still kind of traumatized from going through that hole in the sky in the first Avengers.
Well, not just Tony, but in the MCU, both Falcon and the Winter Soldier become post Captain America's.
Sebastian Bach, who plays Winter Soldier, says he does not want to see his character become Captain America.
Why wouldn't he? It's a paycheck.
I don't know. Truthfully, because like I like the Winter Soldier character, and I like it because like he's the Shadow the Hedgehog to Sonic the Hedgehog. So that's how I see him.
Damn it.
But like I would love to see Falcon as Captain America. I think Falcon's cool. I really like his character.
Of course he is.
And so if he becomes Captain America, because there can only be one Captain America. But do you know The Office, like the show The Office?
I've been meaning to watch it. I know it's all on Netflix, but no.
Do you know are you familiar with like if you like if you're with any of the there's a character in the show named Jim. He's like the only level-headed guy in the show.
Oh, that's is that the guy that's always pulling pranks on Dwight?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. He was supposed to be Captain America. I
can't see that at all.
So he had such a great audition that the people who auditioned him like gave him a standing ovation.
Really?
And they loved him. And then as soon as they announced that, fans got so and they you're hired.
If he did a good job, then I'll swallow my pride. But
fans were so pissed that they hired him because they like, oh, we can't see him, fuck him. So they like, yeah, sorry, we gotta fire you. And they hired Chris Evans, no audition.
No audition. Really?
Doesn't that it hurts? I feel so bad for him.
Wow. Well, I hope he at least gets a part in an upcoming movie.
I mean, like if they're gonna replace Captain America, because like, so I'm a big Easter eggs guy, and in Winter Soldier, I believe it was, they talk about people that was on the watch list. Because remember how they had like the guns pointing out there killing people. Mm-hmm. They were talking about King from Wakanda, Black Panther, some type of Doctor Strange, a couple other people, and they handed out like all upcoming movies, and they were talking about a teacher and a student in some city. Now, if you look into what they were talking about, because like that
student could have been Spider-Man? Question mark?
No, they. So in the comic books, because I never really read Captain America comics. After Captain America dies supposedly in the comic books, and then Winter Soldier has his accident when he falls off. The U.S. government doesn't want people to think Captain America is dead, so they randomly hire a teacher and student to be next Captain America, Winter Soldier, or not Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is a product of the experimentation. So Captain America and Bucky. So that's what people are thinking, like, oh, maybe we can hire them for that, for whatnot. But I don't think they've touched upon that since.
Not to my knowledge. I didn't even know about this.
Yeah. Also, things I know you were excited about, but it tanked was Inhumans. I don't know if you heard any. I've watched any of it or heard about.
Black Bolt is just a fucking boss.
But did you watch any of the show?
I did, and the way season 1, I was.
Did you watch all of it?
I think I stopped after what they had on Netflix, but I know I haven't.
Inhumans is on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Didn't know that.
In season, so you haven't seen it then?
No, I don't. You can spoil it. I don't think I'm gonna watch it because it doesn't connect to anything from what I understand.
It's more like the off site. It's like they deal with it, or they deal with what the actual Avengers are doing, but not a part of it. But in season 1, why is Phil Coulson still alive? Tahiti is a magical place. No one knows what that means. Turns out Tahiti is some acronym for some military shield base.
Oh, we're talking about SHIELD right now, or we're talking about Inhumans right now? I'm talking about the Inhumans show.
It all...
okay.
Oh, the TV show, sorry. I thought you were going with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and
No, I'm talking about the Inhumans TV show.
Inhumans there. Oh. Well, the way they portrayed the Inhumans in the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, I thought was garbage. It didn't make sense at all to me. But the actual cast for the Inhumans, I think, is great.
For like the Inhumans TV show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because like I liked that Black Bolt, but I heard that the writing was bad, that the dialogue was bad, and that the special effects were bad. I heard like a lot of things for like the Inhumans TV show was like ended up like tanking. Like a lot of people did not like, because like in Agents, like I will say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the first season was not that good. It got to me like I've been watching a little bit like the later like season 4, which is on Netflix with Ghost Rider and whatnot. I've been really enjoying that because I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is one of those things that has been gotten better and better. I also think the chick who plays Skye or Daisy, depending when you watch it, is fucking hot.
Oh, she's a smoke show.
Oh yeah, smoke show. I like
smoke show.
I like that term, man. Smoke show. But yeah, dude, she's also like her character is also really cool. Like that's like especially because like season 4, she's like a renegade character. So like she's like more vigilante. But that's actually no. At the point I'm watching now, she rejoined S.H.I.E.L.D. Spoiler alert. It was a bit late, but you know what? I don't really think many people watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So if you do, you probably already caught up on it. If you were thinking about watching it, well, hopefully you'll forget this podcast. God damn. Are there any video games you've been playing lately, or like anything you're looking forward to?
I work and I go home and I play Overwatch.
I can't even that.
Can't no.
It's less. I mean, I guess it's a little bit of the cartooniness, but it's for me. It's just mostly the.
Well, the cartooniness is just the style.
It's exactly. I mean, I'm not saying it's only a little bit of that, but like most, I'm just not into like character-based shooters. You know, like.
See, I think that's what I like about it because each character has their own separate toolkit, and it's just so vastly different from the rest of the cast. I'll call it, but it's. Each character is in itself a tool. So how do you use... So yes, you are the player and this is your toolkit. How do you win? And that's what I like. The maps are really fun too. Just there's a lot of... There's one character, Roadhog. And on...
Is that a new character?
No, he's been in there since the open beta. Oh. But if there's one map, just a well. There's just a giant well right in the middle of the... objective point. He sends out a giant fish hook, hooks the enemy players, and just reels them in close, and he has a shotgun, so he just does that much damage up close. But if you do it right, so if you launch the hook when you are standing right at the edge of the well, when the hook lets go of them, they just drop. And they die. It's just fucking awesome.
Do you think the creators thought about that when they were like designing everything? Well, or do you think it's just like
had
happy
to, because there are so many characters like that have abilities where they can move the enemy players. This one character, the bomb, that they're all called the bombs or poles. Like the hook. Another character, it's like a super hook kind of, where she launches out this gravity well ball. I don't know what else to call it. And when she clicks the next mouse button, it pops, and it latches onto all the enemies near it and pulls them to the center of the ball.
Huh.
So if someone's hiding around the corner and you know that they're there, you just launch that thing out, hook them, and reel them out into the open.
Huh. That's interesting. That's cool.
So there's a lot of tactics involved, and it's...
The only thing I really know about Overwatch is that every chick I follow on Instagram cosplays as Diva.
Diva.
On
YouTube, I think Overwatch Central posted it. Every now and then they'll post up a video of what the characters would have been or could have been, like while they were still in the development stages of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Diva is a Korean gamer that got hired by the military to pilot a mech. Guns, shotguns, rockets, the works. And so she's just this little Korean gamer girl piloting this giant war mech. And what she could have been was this little girl, like a toddler, piloting this mech. It was like, but they made her into an adult, so the game was PG, so the players weren't killing a little girl.
So, have you seen the trailer for the game Death Stranding by Hideo Kojima?
Negative.
Yo, like, are you familiar who Hideo Kojima is?
No.
He's he was the dude who did all the Metal Gear Solid games up until Metal Gear Solid 5, and like
never played that either, but I know you're a big fan of it.
The big thing with fandom is that like the writing and all the story for it goes really deep, and like it's like I'm pretty sure this guy's be conspiracy theory. Like I started playing 4, and big part of 4 is nanomachines. So in this world, in order to pull a trigger for a gun, you your nanomachines in your body have to correspond with it. Because if it does, I can pull a trigger. But if I were to, like, in a war, were to kill you, pick up your gun, try to shoot your friends, I couldn't pull the trigger.
Gun doesn't work. Okay.
But Hideo Kojima is doing like that was when he worked with Konami, or I think it was Konami. I can't remember it offhand, but he's doing another game called Death Stranding with Norman Reedus, and in the trailer he picks up a baby out like that was in like a little pod thing, and then you see him drowning, and then you see him at the bottom of the ocean, then you see him like passed out, and then you see the camera view go into his mouth, and then it goes right down his throat, and all of a sudden you see that there's a baby inside of him, and then it just pulls right the fuck out. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like it looked like a baby inside of a guy, but not like pregnant guy, but like oh god,
but like the size of like a cell, or like the nano
no, like like a real size baby inside of him, because it goes down there, and you got to check out this trailer.
Norman Reedus eats a child,
or I don't even know how baby got in there.
The Walking Dead got dark in season 8.
Oh, dude, I need to catch up on The Walking Dead.
I've lost interest.
I just like the dude who plays Negan. He makes me laugh.
Oh, I forget his name, but yeah, he's great. I'll give the show that.
Jeffrey Dean. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. One of my favorite. Like they pushed the envelope with what he said. Like I remember, like my favorite line I heard in one of the episodes was the "I just put my dick down your throat and made you say thank you." Well, apparently the first episode where he kills Glenn and Abe, rest in peace, Abe. Glenn had to die.
Deuces.
They said that traumatized people. And that's why they had to like lighten it up. And I'm like, fuck you. It's like, God. What do you expect? What do you expect?
It's a zombie show. If there's not a trigger warning in every episode, then it's not a zombie show.
Speaking of TVMA, edgy things. Have you played any of or seen any gameplay of the new South Park Fractured But Whole?
No, I haven't. I know they're like superheroes in this one, but
it's dude, it's hysterical. Like one of the reasons why I love the South Park games is because the animation for the South Park is just so like basic that when you're playing the game, it looks like an episode. Like I know everyone like if I were to play like a game, I can't think of any other cartoon show. If I play a Simpsons game based on the Simpsons. Like it wouldn't look like an actual Simpsons episode. It just look like a video game based on the Simpsons. Now this time, it looks like it's in the actual episode, and then you're always farting on people. the actual game, the gameplay is actually, you have to think about it because it's not like simple. Like the first one, Stick of Truth, what's kind of like your old Final Fantasy. You just choose your thing. We're gonna do it, and you attack. This one you have like a 4x4 grid. You have to move around because your attacks only attack in certain areas.
I saw one trailer for it where Super Craig, his special superpower, whatever it was, I think you might have shown it to me actually, was he just flips people off. He just like millions of like the middle fingers punch you in the face.
So this is gonna be a spoiler alert for anyone, but in the show you get to build. They all have like their super abilities. And Craig's first super ability is, if you remember the episode where he has all the gerbil, like all the gerbils attack South Park. He used to take a gerbil out and the gerbil attack people, but. Because and remember, because this is relevant to the story.
Was that Super Craig or Professor Chaos?
Super Craig.
Okay.
And then also I have to give this background too. You know how in the latest season Tweek and Craig are going out, right?
Yep.
So, but in this though, they are broken up because Tweek is with the Super Friends, or Justice Friend, whatever that is, and then Tweek is with Coon and Friends.
Okay.
And then so once they get back together. His special changes, and so when you do a special, you just see Tweek come over, and then they hold hands, and then everything turns into an anime. So it's just like anime Tweek, anime Craig, and they're all speaking in Japanese,
no.
and then it looks like they're about to kiss, and then everything explodes and it does mad damage.
It does damage.
Dude, this game is fucking hysterical. Dude, spoiler alert. There was a really hard part of the game. Like, in terms of, like, mentally speaking, where you have to choose to either kill your mom or your dad. It was either you have to cut your dad's head off or you pull your mom's arm out and she bleeds out. And I flipped the coin and I decided to kill my mom because she was an alcoholic and my dad was a pothead.
Oh, Jesus.
And so, but like, thing is, like, when you go to pull the arm, she was like, "No, son, no!" And then you have to hit it like 3 times. She's begging.
Oh, so she's fighting back, kind of.
And then so like I click, and then the more she's saying no, I'm like, God damn it, I don't want to do this. And I just feel so bad. And then I eventually pulled her arm off, and then she's just like, ah, and then she's just dead. And I'm like, oh, that hurt. It kind of hurt. It was like just I don't know, man. It's just they made a great game because I don't know. South Park proved to me that they can do like some deep stuff. Because are you like do you watch like a lot of South Park or like enough?
Not recently.
This was the first season.
Principal was great.
Yeah, did you see that? Did you see the first season they introduced PC Principal?
Yeah, I did.
Do you see the whole when Officer Barbara they hired Officer Barbara to shoot kids?
Oh my God, no!
Yeah.
What?
So he had to shoot someone, and then he shot someone. He fired his gun, accidentally shot the Mexican kid, and then he got fired for that.
Of course he did.
And then so when they did that, they got fired. He went home to his shitty home. And then he goes to his dog, and his dog needs some medication. And he was like, "Don't worry, we'll get you your medication money." And then he's just him being homeless and struggling to get medication for his dog. And I'm just kind of like, man, why'd you do that to me? So I came here to laugh. And then you show me a sad story about a dog. And then they rehire him later. Because they think that a whole bunch of kids have joined ISIS because of the way they dress. But they didn't know that they're all ninjas.
Ninja
and then when they realized at the end, it was already too late. Officer Broadway already shot the gun. And then he shot Token.
Oh my God.
So they had to fire him again. He was like, "What? You told me to do it this time." And he was like,
microaggression.
No. Oh gosh, you didn't see in the new South Park?
No, I haven't.
So they hired a vice principal, VP Strongwoman.
Oh, is it not the
Mac?
No, what was it? The Kylie Jenner, the buckle up, buckaroo.
That's the that was Garrison's dude.
Oh, it was with Garrison. That's right.
But VP's like so. Eventually, VP Spoiler. VP
Strong
Woman and PC Principal start hooking up, and then when people actually find them hooking up in the
Do they
woods,
have a consent form?
I don't know. I didn't even put that. But like technically, PC Principal is VP Strong Woman's superior. So when they find him, Randy's like, "Wait a second, are PC Principal sleeping with him and she's his superior?" And they all just start throwing up like, like that's disgusting. And like, oh my God, but that's just
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
God, I love the they are making, because that was the episode making fun of It. I don't know if you've seen that movie yet. I still need to see it.
I haven't even seen the first one.
There's no first. So
No, the
original.
Yeah.
So the original, it was made for TV. I watched it. It was all right. Don't watch it.
No, really, not then. Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, he did a good job playing It, but like I was expecting, because people were talking about, oh, I'm afraid of clowns because of this movie. I was expecting some intense stuff. It wasn't that intense. Also, the way they delivered the story is different from how the book delivers it. Because in the book, because I didn't read the book, I only read about the book. The first half of the book is them as kids fighting Pennywise the clown, and then after their life, it jumps forward to them being adults and then fighting Pennywise and going against Pennywise the clown. So the first movie
still,
well, because he comes back.
Oh, okay.
So in the first movie, the movie that just came out now, that was all about the kids fighting Pennywise. So when
they're gonna make another one.
So yeah, they're doing part 2 or
Jesus.
chapter 2, because like the book is over like 1,000 pages, so like it's hard to condense that into like a 2-hour movie. But like, and also.
Wasn't the original like 3.5 something crazy like that?
So also the other thing about the It movie before is that it wasn't really even a movie. It was a mini series. So it was
I thought it was a movie.
No, they released it as a movie for people for like home entertainment, but like it was never a movie. It was made for TV. That's why they were so light on it. And also in the original it would go back and forth. So basically, the dude who still lived in the town because everyone else moved would call the people like, "Hey, Pennywise is back," and then they would like drop the phone and have flashbacks of when they were little kids. And so it was always a lot of jumping back and forth.
Okay. And
if I understand, the new one is just all kid stuff. But one of the things they took out, which I'm happy they took out, which because it would be poor and otherwise, is that in the book after they kill Pennywise, that the only female in the Losers Club, like, gets down, has all the boys fuck her, gets gangbanged, because like they were thinking apparently the whole point of that part is that like they did the most adult thing in that town that any of the adults did, so she wants to officially make them adults. And I was like, well, Stephen King, I don't think I ever exactly approve of your story writing.
Interesting.
I just read Carrie recently. Carrie is fucking rad. I don't know if you've ever seen Carrie.
As I see a lot of Stephen King books on your bookshelf.
Yeah, that's all from the Dark Tower stuff. Which, spoiler alert, because I actually read into it. It's all a fucking. It's one of those things where it ends in a loop. Where once you finish the 7th Dark Tower book, you realize, oh nope, you know what? If you can keep reading it, because the series continues, you just gotta read number 1 again. Then once you read number 7, you just keep going all through it because it's just a loop. Yeah. Oh, that's why that's why when they see the Dark Tower movie that came out, it's a kind of a movie adaptation / So
it's gonna be like a two hour long GIF.
No, because well, here's the thing.
Totally
So the reason why it's different, which I'm actually now interested in seeing it, is that Roland starts off the cycle again, except he starts the cycle off with an item that he is supposed to have way later. So it's like, wait, this isn't supposed to be the way it is. Something is different. Something is not right with this chain. So it's like
you said there are 7 books.
7 books, yeah. I mean,
is
I
there
think
something
there's
in
8.
one of the middle books that's more climactic than at the end? So like they're starting at that point and going to work their way around and then back to book 1 and then continue.
I don't know. I've only read like the first book and a half.
That also might just be how they're doing the loop effect.
Well, because because they probably don't want to do like a full 7 movie series. It's also like they get thicker and thicker. I feel like because also like I haven't heard about them want to do a sequel, so it could literally just end with the Dark Tower movie they have now too. Excuse me, but I've also say that one of the reasons why I didn't want to see that movie too is that I saw the trailer. It looked like it was focusing on the kid Jake, who was supposed to die right before the first book ends. And I will say that when I read the book, I was like, yo, I can totally imagine this dude, the Man in Black, as Matthew McConaughey. And when they released that Matthew McConaughey, I was like, wow. Oh my God, they knew it.
God.
And that dude, the actor who plays the main actor, the cowboy, who is also the gatekeeper in the Thor movies. I can't remember his name right now.
The actor or the handle?
What?
Hemdahl, but I don't know the actor's name.
Yeah, he like people want him to be the next James Bond, and I really want him to be the next James Bond. I want him to be the next James Bond.
I can see it.
I
think he'd be good at a secret agent type of character.
And he has the fucking velvety voice for it too.
Well, I mean, he's been in Losers, but that's kind of more Black Ops than Special Agent.
I don't know what that is.
That's an older movie, but it actually has Captain America in it too.
Chris Evans.
He gets into an elevator and starts to strip while singing Queen. It's great.
War movies are just great. Was that a war movie or just kind of like special ops thing?
More of like a special ops getting revenge.
Have you seen Fury?
Yeah. That's a good one.
That ending scene, ending though was so great. I was so sad when like Shia LaBeouf died, just because like he was like he was wanted to say something, then boom.
But no,
man.
From one Brad Pitt film to another, I just on Netflix the other night watched Troy.
Oh, that's a good movie. I've seen that in so long.
I've never seen it. That's a good movie. That one's solid.
Another movie I haven't seen. It's a Netflix original movie. Is War Machine. It's based on a real thing where it's he played. From what I understand, it's supposed to be like half movie, like war movie, half comedy. I guess he's supposed to be like a real life war general, and he's sent somewhere in the Middle East to kind of like rally up troops and like make peace and kind of clean up the mess that they did.
I'll find it and watch it.
You know, I watched a film that like where every actor has a thing they do in every movie. Apparently, like when you see actors in like eating movies, they're never actually eating. They always pretend that they're eating. Brad Pitt in every movie is always eating something, like legitimately eating something. And in like, I know in Fury, I remember how he's eating the meal with the family. That's like his thing.
He's actually down in the eggs and whatnot.
And every Tom Hanks movie, there's always a scene of him pissing.
Is there?
Apparently, like I watched a clip. There's like a whole bunch of movies where like that. Even like Saving Private Ryan, is a scene of him pissing. In every Tom Cruise movie, he's always running.
Well, I feel like that's a common thing in any movie. Yeah, he's running.
But I feel like he has kind of like that particular run, though. You know what I mean?
Have you seen the trailer for the new Jurassic Park? Jurassic Kingdom or something like that. It's what's the?
I didn't see the last one though.
Oh, I didn't. I thought it was worth watching. It's good.
It seems like one of those movies that like, if it's available to you, watch it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, like in the trailer though, he's running from a stampede of dinosaurs, and he's running like a 100-yard dash runner. Like he has that perfect form. Like his arms are going in just the right motion. Like, I'm sorry, if you're running from a goddamn stampede of anything, you are hauling ass. You are not just keeping that methodical form, trying to keep stride. You are fucking moving. And I just see the trailer and I just kind of drop my shoulders and just, okay, I think I'm getting out of it.
You know, like a lot of these, like it's there's like a bittersweet thing with how like they're redoing a lot of things, because some of it I like I'm really happy they're redoing Spawn, but like with Jurassic, yeah, dude,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude, they're redoing Spawn.
I can't wait.
And from what I understand, it's being done by the guy like Todd McFarlane who made Spawn, so it's like in the creator's hands, so it's like
better.
Legitimate.
That's even better.
But like with Jurassic Park, I don't know, because it seems like when they're remaking these things now, it's just they're like, I understand Jurassic Park originally was meant for kids, kind of like how Star Wars movies were meant for kids, but they always had like a deeper lore to it that where you could like as a kid, I love Star Wars. The action was cool. The adventure was really for the kids. The adventure of these characters was for the kids. But then all the politics, all like the mysticism, that was for like when you're an adult and you can delve into it. Like, wow, that's really cool.
But they're remaking a ton of movies now, like the monster movies, Jurassic Park, like we're talking about, and this
monster, like the Mummy and shit.
Yep.
Do you know? I don't know if they're gonna, because they want to make that whole like the dark universe.
Yeah, but I mean it's all just a revamp for the new generation of kids, just because no one has a VHS player anymore. At least very few people do. I don't. But it's all for them. It's just so they can see these films or read these stories. And
I think that's because like people don't know how to write a good story. Like personally, like I'll talk about this slightly here. Is that like I'm writing a script for a movie, like a good comedy, and I've been watching like a lot of old comedies that like I felt would really stood out. Like American Pie. Have you ever seen like the original American Pie movies?
Oh, of course.
Like those movies will always stand the test of time. You know, I actually rewatched them recently. I was watching the commentary. I didn't actually watch what the actual audio of the movie. I was watching the commentary of the dude who wrote it, and then just like kind of give pointers right now because like. I watched that, like, all, like, the jokes. Like, no matter, like, what time period you are. You could, whether you're watching it right when it came out or you're watching it 20 years later. All those jokes are still funny to you because it's all situational. It's all things that you can see happen to anyone. Yeah. But when I watched, like, the holiday party, I was like, oh, yeah, he sent me this emoji. Or he sent that emoji. Or, like, he sent me on this Snapchat. Like, all those things are only for this time period. None of the jokes or the comedy is really... doesn't really stand the test of time. That's why like when I see it's kind of like how when I see all these comedy specials they're all shitting on Donald Trump. You know, I'm not a Donald Trump supporter, but you know what? I will say that like all those Donald Trump jokes aren't going to be funny in like when he's not president anymore. When you watch all these
Comedy Central bought into all that and actually made a show just to rip on Trump.
Oh, did they?
There's a show I think it's called President or something like that.
There's the Alec Baldwin put out a book pretending to be Donald Trump.
Did he?
Oh, yeah. And it's just kind of like all this stuff is like it's not gonna be funny in like 5 years because like when I can show like I like to imagine that like I could show like my future children when they're like in high school like hey this is American Pie I fucking loved this when I was younger or like let's see if I have anything over there and things that like movies that like I was too young that came out when I was really young that I can still appreciate. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, or it was like another high school movie. It was like one of those coming of age movies where it's like you see this young girl, she wants to lose her virginity and whatnot, and then she's talking to her girlfriends about it, and then you follow this stoner kid Spicoli and his struggles through high school being a stoner. That was kind of a sideline story, but it was about this girl and then this other kid who liked the girl, but she liked his friend. So it was like this weirdly weird love triangle, and like and all the jokes and like the things that happen in that movie. You know that movie's based in the 70s or 80s, still work well today. Or even like saying for American Pie, all those jokes about like God, I just watched that movie too. About how all four of those guys like let's make a pact, let's all lose our virginities for this, and they're all trying to do all the things. I know that they or he fucks the pie in the movie. Like that will be funny to anyone. No, like it could be like 2045, and that joke will still be fucking funny.
Oh my god.
Or like one of my favorite things about the movies is Jim's dad. You know, the guy with the caterpillar eyebrows. You know, he's just a really awkward dad. It's just so right now I'm watching. So like my movie's about sex like that. It's called Slut Bust. I shouldn't have told you that as you're drinking your beer.
No.
So essentially, I'll tell you about the main plot line. There's this character named Christian, and by the way, how do I name my characters? Well, I looked through my yearbook and I was like, I think that this character would look like you, so I just I'd been stealing first names.
Their name.
Only the first names, and I tried to make the last names, but he hasn't been he hasn't gotten laid since high school. And then like he's like in his 4th year of college. He's at lunch with a couple of his buddies for holiday break, and then they all realize like, yo, bro, you haven't been laid in years, and like you need a slut bust. And when I was like, someone's like, what's a slut bust? Like, oh, you know, it's a chick you bang when you've been on a dry streak. Like after the podcast, I'll show you like the first scene I have, and and basically the whole premise of the movie is that like if he doesn't get laid by the time they all come back from winter break, he has to sleep with the designated slump bus, which is a chick who's obsessed with him that he doesn't like. He's like, oh yeah, she's creepy, she's kind of gross. Like, well, you know, if you can't sleep with anyone, you're gonna have to sleep with her. And so it's like him like trying to go through like a whole bunch of shenanigans and to get laid. So he goes
to get laid.
So one of my favorite things about this movie is I have another character. His gay best friend in college named Billy. His whole premise is that yeah, I'm gay, but I only fuck dudes. I don't get fucked.
Because getting fucked by dudes is gay.
And I remember the whole scene too with him is this kind of like, yeah, you know, my favorite type of dudes to hook up with are straight dudes, because they think they're all, you know, straight and shit, and they're all powerful, and then I make them feel too comfortable. And bam, fuck them. And then my favorite part of writing that script is like, yeah, I know, and then I have had a lot of angry and confused girlfriends break through the doors. Like she's like, I find it arousing. He was like, I find it annoying.
And did you went to high school with somebody like this?
No, I don't know how I stumbled upon that. I just remember like, I think part of where like that character came from is like I was seeing it every form of media. Every gay character is the same. They're always just over, like, I mean, in my eyes, everything. They're always some overly flamboyant character that's how you know they're the gay character. You know, that's every gay character I've seen. And it's just kind of annoying. Like, how come every gay dude has to be fag?
It's kind of like how, what is it? It's not every... Fuck, what is something rather with like a pedophile and a mustache? Like, what's that saying?
Oh, is it like not every dude with the mustache is a pedophile, but every pedophile has a mustache?
That.
What's interesting about the gay guys, sorry, because they're just like, I only fuck dudes, I don't get fucked, is that like he's like right when like in movies it's you separate into 3 acts. You know, the first act kind of like delivers the premise, so it's like the first 20, 30 minutes of the movie. And then act 2 is the whole like middle, that's like the meat of it. Yep. And then act 3 is kind of like everything's wrapping up. So at the end of act 1, he's at a party because he accompanies the main character to go back home and get laid. He's like, yeah, I'm going to be your support. I'm going to be your wing guy. And then it's going to be the main character's best friend, best friend from college, and his 2 friends from high school, which are brother and sister. And then while he's at a party over there, someone's like, yeah, so since you only fuck, you don't ever get fucked, why don't you a fucking chick? I mean, you have more options. And then the whole movie is just him being like, huh.
Oh, I never thought about that.
And then so what ends up happening is he ends up fucking the sister of the main character's best friend, and she accidentally gets pregnant. And then she might be pregnant. And then he goes on around like, this is why I only fuck dudes in the first place.
Fucking Christ.
And it's just kind of like, you know, like, my thing is that, like, you know what, I'll try to throw a bone here. I'll try to, like, I'm not going to watch gay movies try to understand the homosexual struggle ball. You know, I have gay friends. I'll ask them about it.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Well, not anymore.
Look, if you can take a dick, you can take a joke.
Wow. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Exactly. You get me. That was a great movie too. That's another movie. Yeah, like another movie where it's like no matter like all the comedy there is just comedy that is kind of always relevant. It's all situations like another movie that kind of made me feel about like comedies are well written. So kitty cat.
Yeah,
is
it's when Tron. I'm like, hi.
Superbad. I love watching Superbad.
Don't care for it.
You don't care for it?
I don't. Like I don't get me wrong. I chuckle at it. It's funny, but it's not one of those. I'll watch that. Like, it's not like a Saturday night. Yeah, I'll watch that again.
I mean, yeah, but you can kind of see how it's one of those. I think using the word coming to age movies where it's just kind of like. You see, like, because like that's why a lot of these movies are based on like high school and college kids, because like that's usually like the most frustrated times of your life. That's when like you're really transitioning from one phase of your life to the next. You know, like it's just cause then one like, you know, high school is right before that drastic change, and then college is like you are in that drastic change and trying to like, you know, set yourself up. Because high school and college are just two sides of the same coin, really. Because I remember, like, I know, like, we both went to New England Institute of Art, and we both stayed at the dorms there, right? You stayed at
Yep.
How many years did you stay at Pine Manor?
I mean, I finished school in 3 years, but 2.
So like, you know, like how when you first started staying at Pine Manor, it was this kind of like high school, but everyone lived together. I mean, that's how what it was like for
my
me.
first meal at Pine Manor was half because they cut them in half of a veggie burger. And I went, this is not what I expected.
I'm talking about in terms of like the social life.
I think that's a good enough metaphor.
No, the half.
I like the half of a veggie burger. Like that's appropriate.
I mean, like, because also like we went to Pine Manor at a different time. Because like I would say like my first 2 years at Pine Manor were great. Not like we're great. They were what I want, like an actual college experience. And anything after that was kind of bullshit.
Right. Because you were there when they actually had the whole 5 buildings, I think it was. Was it 5 or 6?
So my first year, we had all 5 buildings, because there's only 5 buildings. But my second year, we had West 1 through 4 and half of West 5. And then by my second, 2013, January 2013 is when they gave up all of West 5 to Pine Manor. So we had West 1 through 3, 4. And but it was still because I was also in a position of power. I was an RA,
a position of power.
Yo, you know what? Like I thought, like I really had a lot of power throughout my years at AI. Because my second year I was fucking RA, and then so I like halfway through my third year I started working on ops, and then ops gives you power as is because you get to control what people take out and shit, and
Yeah, I suppose you did.
And then I became a boss, a literal boss, the manager.
Wow. That's funny.
Yeah, I know. I feel like one of the things I like to say about like the AI, like art institutes, is that like fuck the people who ran the school, fuck no one who actually worked at the school. Because people who actually worked on campus, they tried their hard, they tried for their students, they cared about their students. But people who worked in Pennsylvania, they didn't give a shit.
No,
they saw a paycheck.
With the exception of cough, one fraud.
I mean, I'm not gonna say names, but there's one fraud in the audio industry, in the audio department as well. So I know I know I bitched about who I'm talking about, and same vice versa.
Same where I'm going, but the teachers, they deserved every cent of what we're paying.
Oh, 100%. Like that's why the teacher I had named Pete. You know what I'm talking about, Pete, Bald Pete.
Yep.
He was like as soon as I had him for my first hard disk class, I had taken every class I could possibly take from him. Because, like, after a certain point, they started laying off a whole bunch of teachers. So it's like, will they lay this guy off? I mean, from what he was telling me, is like, I've been here the longest, so they're not going to fucking lay me off. And then
he got laid off?
He came back, actually.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure he came back for the last quarter. He also, like, and then, like, remember, like, my first recording teacher, he actually, like, I think one of the first reasons, the 2 signs of, like, I chose the right place to be was, the first was that my first class was about the audio industry. Teacher walked in, and it was like some type of suit. He was wearing a suit and shit, bigger guy. And then I was like, look at this fucking guy. He's probably some, like...
A teacher?
A teacher, yeah. He's like, like, look at this fucking guy. And then he's like, how the fuck are we doing today? I'm like, this guy's good. I like this guy. And then I actually come to find out he produced a record by Hole, which is Courtney Love's band. Mm-hmm. And then I asked him, I was like, hey, man, did you ever meet Kurt Cobain? Because, they were married. He's like, not only did I meet Kurt Cobain, we jammed together. I'm like,
what?
Yup.
Wow.
And then the second moment I was figuring out the right place is I had recording 1. I had this teacher for recording 1. During recording 2, I had the same teacher. I realized one of the records he worked on was one of my favorite hardcore records, which is Jane Doe by Converge, which is on that wall, that record right there, which is within like the hardcore scene, like a very monumental record, like groundbreaking. And I went to him one day. I was like, hey, so I heard you produced Jane Doe by Converge. And he was like, yeah, it's all right. I'm like, oh my God, he just says it's all right. Does he not know how like powerful that record is? Oh my God. Oh God. I mean, like the shitty thing about AI is that, like, it had a lot of respectable people working there, but, like, it
had a lot of talented and well-respected people working there.
But it wasn't run correctly. I mean, I didn't have to do this, but, like, I know a lot of people who did have to do this. Was that for the audio industry, if you want to get in the audio major, you actually had to go in and you had to sit down and you had to be interviewed by a teacher, and you interviewed them, they interviewed you, because basically what they want, because the type of kids they didn't want going through there, which I knew one.
Was this at the beginning of your schooling or
beginning of my schooling?
Okay.
Was that they dropped it? But they didn't want kids going like, yeah, I want to do audio because I want to record my own band and be a famous rock star. They didn't want those kids. They realized like, yo, if you're in the audio industry, you're not trying to be a rock star. You're trying to be an engineer. You're trying to make, be the guy behind the table and do all the cool stuff.
Backstage.
Yeah, or the backstage tour manager, like studio. Like you're not. This isn't Berkeley, essentially.
Yeah.
And that's kind of not. And they also weighed in on like, yeah, this kid should be coming in, and or this kid shouldn't be here because he doesn't know it. Because I remember this kid. It bums me out because his name is also Zach. Generally Zachs in audio have been like a force to be reckoned with. It was me and a couple other, like my roommate Zach and a couple other Zachs I can think of offhand. And he was, I remember he, after like halfway through like the first semester, he was like, yeah, I'm switching to graphic design. I was like, why switching to graphic design? Yeah, well, I thought I'd be recording my own band. And then I fucking wrung him out. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck do you think this is? You fucking little twat. You
traitor.
It's just kind of like you're so self-centered. You're not supposed to be helping yourself. You're supposed to be helping other people. You're not. You didn't come here to be an artist. You came here to be an engineer. God damn it. Go to Berkeley.
Like, is graphic design just the fallback for the other majors? Because there's been a few animator students that dropped to go to graphics as well.
Well, because from what I understand is that a lot of people like who go to animation, they don't expect the workload to be so heavy. They're generally artists who are like, oh yeah, I'm really good at drawing. I would love to see what I make be made in a cartoon. So I feel that I respect someone more if they just go straight for graphic design. But if they go somewhere else and then they fall back to graphic design, I was like,
it's not the same.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't know what you were signing up for.
See, that's what I love, because like I'll meet somebody who's an artist and all that, and they'll be talking about their work, and I'll just kind of stop them at one point when I can, and it's like, but can you make it move? I can. And that's what I love about it, because I've always wanted my drawings, like my characters as a kid, like I would imagine them doing XYZ, doing some special move, like casting fireballs, just stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
But now I can. Yay.
Now, would you rather work with like game? Were you in gaming or were you just regular animation?
I was a 2D animation student. It's like I want to do storyboards. Mm-hmm. So it's more of the problem solving aspect of it. Like I'm still designing I would basically work, to the best of my knowledge, I would be working with the director and art director and writers, actually like putting pencil to paper what each shot will look like without doing the actual movements. It's like if I was standing on one side of the room on a computer, that's one drawing. Okay, I'm leaving the computer, maybe I'm pushing the chair away from the desk, then I'm standing up, walking somewhere else, and then I'm playing the guitar. I'm not doing the actual strumming motions like the animators will do for all the middle drawings.
Mm-hmm.
I would just be doing like, okay, so I would basically be making a comic book.
Yeah, more or less
that's
just
an
kind
easy
of
way
like,
to do it.
Actually, I mean, like you're making like the actual important point. So like, yeah, they have to start here, then go over here, then over. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Now, does it kind of bum you out that like when you see movies nowadays, it's all 3D animation movies?
Bum me out? No, because you have to repeatedly draw something in order to animate it 2D. 3D and animations, in the computers, think of it as a digital ball of clay.
Yeah.
That you can mold and save. So make a character in 3D, hit save. Through whatever other means, I honestly didn't care for 3D at all, so it's not something I want to do. But you can save those assets.
Yeah.
So save the character, save the model for whatever set, and copy and paste it into any scene that you want it. So it's easier, but I prefer 2D.
Unless it's anime. most anime, you just move their mouths unless it's an actual fight scene. That's kind of why, like, I've always, like I said, I'm a huge writer. I write a lot of things. And that's why, like, if I were, like, when I'm writing things, I mean, I just also read, like, the anime style of things. But, like, in realistic terms, like, if I were to have something be made, like, any of my things be made to, like, a cartoon, I'd be like, oh, well, anime be easiest. Because, like, I don't care about all the, like, the things I care about most in, like, my stories, like, the action scenes. Like, those have to be completely badass. All the dialogue, well, like, those things, the dialogue is what really carries the scene. It doesn't really matter what that looks like. But then when you see, like, old 2D cartoons, like, you see, like, ever watch old Ed, Edd and Eddy? Everything's always moving, even when they're, like, standing still. Like, see, that's why I loved. And
they have an idle animation where they're just, like, if you're just sitting down or standing, regardless, like, your character is still breathing and looking around the room. But yeah, that's what I look for too, and that's the small things like that I appreciate in shows nowadays.
Do you
not so much the big fight scenes?
Do you, like, in terms of like going back to, like, you think of, like, you see Cartoon Network cartoons nowadays, you see Nickelodeon cartoons nowadays. Do you? One of the reasons, like, I just don't like where media is going is I just think there's, like, a lot of bad writing all over the place. Like, you see, there's, like, right now there's going to be. I know you like Teen Titans Go, right?
I don't watch it on a regular basis, but I enjoy it for what it is. It's not the Teen Titans. It's not. It's completely different. So I look at it for what it is.
Do you know they're making a movie
for
Teen Titans Go?
What could they possibly make a movie of?
I was, I wake up in the morning, I just randomly scroll through things, and then I'm like, yeah, we're going to the big screen. I'm like, why? They should have made the actual Teen Titans Go, like, make a movie, because, like, I love the original Teen Titans, because, like, from what I see, my problem with Teen Titans Go is less. I mean, at first it was the fact that it wasn't original Teen Titans. Then, conversations with you, like, yeah, I know it's not supposed to be that. It's right. I think what really opened my eyes is, like, when one of the villains in Teen Titans Go shit on them for not being the original Teen Titans. I was like, God. I realized, okay, they
Control Freak, I think it was, yeah.
Then, but then I realized just, like, a lot of the jokes and a lot of the comedy are I just couldn't do it. Like,
watered down.
Watered down. They're just very. They have to be trendy. I don't like how, like, the comedy you see, or the meat in all forms of media has to relate to what's being trendy right now. Because, like, what was that? All the things I was like, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Giant Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory, Cow and Chicken. I can't remember any other Cartoon Network.
Cow and Chicken.
They didn't reflect what was popular, and, like, they didn't have Pokemon episodes. They didn't have skateboarding episodes, or they were, like, they may have thrown a couple of those things in there, but, like, side details. But, like, all the episodes were original content. Like the whole, like, the Ed, like, the whole Ed and anything about Jawbreakers. I didn't want a Jawbreaker until I wanted that, and I actually had a Jawbreaker.
See, as a kid, I actually believed that Jawbreakers were that big.
I mean, dude, their size, like, the Jawbreaker had was actually the size of my fist.
No, I thought they were, like, to scale for what the show. I'm like, why do they want these things? I was terrified.
Bro, it took me about a week to eat that Jawbreaker.
Oh, it's absurd.
I had to put it in a plastic bag, and it would kind of melt in the bag. But I was like, I'm gonna finish this thing. It was $2, and it was pretty good.
So you just saved it.
I had to suck on that shit for like a week, like, and then once I actually was able to, like, fit it in my cheek, like one of the Eds, it was like, like, I feel like my favorite cartoon. But even just kind of like the Dexter episodes, all like the omelette douce fromage thing, where they just learn to speak another language, or God, I've seen so many episodes repeatedly. By the way, Powerpuff Girls is also great.
I haven't watched the newer revamped version. I'm kind of scared too.
I've seen some clips. I didn't like what I was seeing.
No,
because, like, it's just because, like, I'm trying to remember the old Powerpuff Girls episode that were just great. Him, I heard they took out completely.
The pilot? Really? They took out him?
From what I understand, yeah, they took out him. But what was the pilot of Powerpuff Girls?
Why would they take out him? He's a cross-dressing Satan. That's perfect for
crab hands.
With crab hands, so that's perfect for nowadays.
But what was the pilot for Powerpuff Girls?
Ah, God. Mojo Jojo was trying to turn all the town of Townsville people into puppies so he could control a city full of puppies. It's like, what the fuck is this?
See, like, they're all around. So that's why, like, I've kind of warmed up. Like, I never watched it much, but I kind of warmed up to Adventure Time. Because that, too, it kind of, like, emulated kind of like, oh, it's so much random adventures. But like, I would say the dog used too much hip terms, I guess. And
the only episode I've seen of Adventure Time was when a cookie and the cookie's chocolate chips were robbing a bank. And the heroes had, I don't even know the characters' names. The
Finn
heroes,
and Jake.
Finn and Jake. Who's who?
Oh, God.
Sorry, I
Finn,
don't know.
I think it's Jake the dog. So I think Jake's the dog, and I think Finn's the hero.
Oh, that's the guy with the voice of Bender from...
Holy shit, that is him, isn't it? Oh my God, I didn't notice that.
I mean, like, I know the voice, but the chocolate chips had to, like, convince the cookie to help them rob the bank because the cookie didn't want to. And towards the end, the cookie and all of his chocolate chips are running away. They get cornered, and they're pinned up against a cliff face, or at the top of a cliff, so they have nowhere else to go. And the cookie and all of his buddies just commit suicide. They just jump. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Why would anyone watch it? It had no premise whatsoever.
See, I think I can appreciate the randomness of it, but like,
Randomness has something, but
I mean, like, they're talking about the random premise, but like, even the Ed and Eddie random premises, they all like it still had a fluent story. Remember
life has many doors, Ed boy.
Do you remember the episode? They're like, yeah, it's gotta go up. We're for business. We're just going up. And then and then Ed made the elevator go all the way up into space. Just feed you that, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
An actual bottle opener. But like
when Ed gets grounded, he's like,
they took away the stairs, guys. They're very serious.
That's disturbing. But I love how I grew up to be fucking a double D. Like, I used to not care about anything, but I grew up to be the guy that wears the beanie, that cares about school. I'm now wearing glasses. I was like, oh, I am double D.
Did you see? I only saw like the last half of it, but did you see the Ed, Edd n Eddy movie? It wasn't like it wasn't for theaters. It was like a one of those movies for like for the network
Cartoon
only.
Network?
Yeah, Cartoon Network movie.
What?
No. It introduced a new character, Eddie's older brother.
Maybe I just forgot about it, but I know that Eddie's brother was a part of like a single episode or something like that.
It was the last thing they did.
It was a movie?
It was a movie, yeah. They all go to see Eddie. I think that, from what I understand, the Eds do something really bad, and everyone on the cul-de-sac is chasing them. It was like, we gotta go see my older brother. He can protect us or save us from that. And then they actually go find Eddie's older brother, who's a total scumbag. And then the Eds meet them, and then like he was using the Eds for doing something. Then all the kids get there, and I can't remember what happened, but Eddie accidentally knocks him out, and so he looks like the hero.
Oh,
and then Johnny comes in and does something douchey, and so end of the movie.
Melonhead.
Oh, spoiler alert, by the way.
It's kind of late for that one.
I mean, oh well. But essentially how the movie ends is that the Eds are now accepted by the cul-de-sac, and Johnny is now the kid no one likes.
Not Johnny.
Yep, Johnny and Plank.
Oh.
He wasn't my least favorite character. My favorite character was clearly Ralph. I'm a big Ralph guy. I love Ralph.
Oh, you said your least favorite
No,
character.
no, my favorite.
This one, who hates Ralph?
Dude. One of my favorite episodes in talking about the randomness was, remember the episode where he gave all those fish to people, and then Double D denies it, and then he puts on the squid suit, probably puts on like the board on his face of and have everyone steps on him, and then he has a duel with Double D with like, the fish.
Yeah. Can Ralph and Ed and Eddie have that toughness contest?
Yep.
Like they're like getting hit by trains.
Or do you see the one where Ed is working for Ralph and he was like, pain deduction. It's even take a step back further from cartoons. Let's talk about Looney Tunes for a second. Like those things are even more random, especially like all those Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner skits. They're the best.
Oh my god, they totally so are. I am showing you a photo of the Pop doll, the Funko Pop doll that I pre-ordered. I think it comes out in a couple days, like I think January 15th.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bugs Bunny in his opera drag outfit.
Oh my, this is like one of the most like iconic scenes.
And I saw it, I was like, mine, now. And I went to my computer. I think I ran upstairs to my computer.
I have a friend who has this other friend who collects pops in terms of like, yeah, you know, like these. There are a few like, yeah, you know, I bought it for like $5. It's now worth like $30. I mean, like, and then when you keep collecting a whole bunch of shit like that
from the same collections too, because they have like a whole bunch of different collections like that.
Like even like I bought this Biker Daryl over here. It's FYE exclusive.
I can't see it from where I'm sitting.
It was originally a gift for some fucking cunt. I'm not gonna give it to her now.
I think my sister got this for Christmas.
And it's just kind of like, well, I hope maybe that'll be worth something one day. And especially when Daryl dies. I mean, they're gonna have to kill. Like, I mean, that's inevitably gonna happen. I mean, I love Daryl. You know, I'll probably officially stop watching the show when Daryl dies.
Fucking
the full Luke Skywalker. But I don't know, dude. But Looney Tunes though, like all those sketches were just random. Especially when you see like, even like the episodes all the same premise. They're all so different. Like, even like every episode that had who was the bald dude, the bald hunter guy?
Not Yosemite Sam. Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd, yeah. Every episode of Elmer Fudd hunting Bugs Bunny, you think, oh, that's just gonna be the same. Elmer Fudd hunting Bugs, like, nope, it's not the same. Guarantee you, it's not the same. Especially like one of the other iconic scenes, like rabbit sees a duck sees it, rabbit sees a duck sees it. Elmer Fudd sees it.
Elmer Fudd.
And it's just all of that stuff. And even like there were some like cartoons, because like I used to like I always remember at Cartoon Network early, like in the early mornings or like late night. I can't remember. There was like a Boomerang type of day too. Like before Boomerang became its own channel.
Oh my god, I forgot about Boomerang. Yeah,
it was just they'd play a whole bunch of cartoons. And they'd always have like characters that aren't like, you know, like the iconic characters. Those were so really good. But even like, and then you go a little further, you have like the Jetsons and the Flintstones, and those are great. And then I don't really know what happened between that and then the cartoons that we had.
I bought the Jetsons season 1 and 2 on DVD, and I haven't even opened it yet.
I mean, did you ever hear like the you know how like they're like these fan conspiracy theories about shows and shit? Like, you know, like how the Ed and Eddie ones, like how they're all like in limbo, or they're all in purgatory.
What?
Yeah. So
no.
So before I get into that one, the thing with the Flintstones and Jetsons, because you know how they had the crossover episode, and you never see what's below the Jetsons, is that the Jetsons and the Flintstones both coexist at the same time, but the Jetsons live in the land above the clouds and the Flintstones are below.
See, I like fun stuff like that though.
Well, here's the end of anyone. So all the kids in the cul-de-sac are in purgatory, and they all died terrible deaths. And they're all from different time periods. So Ralph's been there the longest. That's why he's a farmer. So I mean, Naz is the most fucked up story. So if the Naz
what did Naz do?
She didn't do anything. That's why, you know how Naz doesn't have any chores, doesn't worry about parents or anything like that. It's because the way she died, someone broke into her family's house, killed the father, raped her mother and sister, and as well as her, and murdered them all. And that's why she has like no anything like that. She's so traumatized at like such a terrible death that like,
so, like
she blocks all that up.
Else. Oh
Ralph,
my god.
And if you notice that Ralph has no like official cattle, like in terms of like bulls or anything like that, it's because when he was younger, he was supposed to let the bulls go. He got trampled to death. The reason why Double D has the hat on all the time, and remember that when they took off the hat, everyone's like so traumatized. Like, oh my god, sorry. Is that like he was?
I don't.
You remember like there was a scene where like they were always wondering what was under Double D's hat and took it off, and they're like, and Ed and Eddie were kind of staring at it, and she put the hat back on.
Is he bald?
No, so in this fucked up fan theories that like I can't remember if it was a chemical explosion in a class that fucked up his head, or if it was the gym and he got pegged really hard, causing brain damage. That happened.
So it's just an indented skull.
Fuck. There was a whole bunch of really fucked up theories, man. You gotta look into it. And the reason.
What was it? There was one I saw for Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
No, I didn't see about that.
Frankie, the main girl.
Mm-hmm.
Her clothes are the exact same color pattern as Mrs. Foster.
Mm-hmm.
So the theory is Frankie is Miss Foster's imaginary friend to take care of the other imaginary friends.
What didn't that series end with like
a long time ago?
Yeah, but like Frankie is just some chick with some type of mental illness, and the Foster's home is a house in a snow globe, so she's imagining everything. So essentially, everyone in Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends is imaginary.
I did not hear about that.
I'm pretty sure that's something. I mean,
that's even more of a mind freak.
That was a really good show. That was like, that was like one of the later shows. I think it was like that, and then Camp Lazlo came out. I like Camp Lazlo.
Camp Lazlo was fun.
I think the last show I didn't really watch so much. I've always watched. This is toward when I stopped watching cartoons on Cartoon Network. But I think the last one I found amusing was Chowder. I found Chowder amusing.
I watched maybe one or two episodes of Chowder, and that's when I started getting out of cartoons.
Sure, at that point. Because the only episode I ever remember was there was some dude who pissed off one shop owner, and he was like, banned from the stand. And then everywhere he goes, he was like, banned from the stand, banned from the stand. He wasn't allowed to go anywhere.
Yeah, okay. Again, I just don't know.
I think officially the last good show at Cartoon Network, because like I just say that because you know that episode of music, but like the last good show I watched was probably Camp Lazlo or Foster's Home, whatever came out. I think Camp Lazlo came out later.
When did Samurai Jack fall out of contention with those shows?
Oh God, I don't know, because it's hard. Like I don't put those up. I don't put that in like really the same ballpark as because like that was more of an action show. You know what I mean? But like. Totally up to, okay. I didn't watch the last season of Samurai Jack, by the way.
I watched a couple episodes and I just couldn't find the time to continue, but I need to. They're on Adult Swim. I know that.
I know that's supposed to be like. I mean, I kind of spoiled the ending for myself. I saw a meme and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna talk about it now.
Okay.
Unless you want me, unless you don't care.
Oh no, I mean that's fine. Go ahead.
From what I understand. He falls in love with some chick. Spoiler alert, yeah. He falls in love with some chick, but I think essentially, in order to defeat Aku, he had to give up his love of his life. It's kind of like bittersweet. What?
Like the main female in that?
No, I think they introduced a female. Also, from what I understand, he doesn't have his sword either, right? He didn't lose his sword.
At the end of season 5, yeah.
At the end of season 5, he lost his sword. And that was the one that just came out, right?
No.
Season 6 just came out.
I think it was season 6.
Well, what I mean, like the season before the new episodes. You mean?
Right.
Yeah. Samurai. Did you ever see like the whole like Samurai Jack is actually the professor?
Yeah, I did. That's great. I saw that. And I just clapped.
You know what was one of the funny things about like the professor and the Powerpuff Girls is that like as a kid growing up, I would like if you asked me like do I watch Powerpuff Girls, like no, that's a girl show. But now I'm like yeah, dude. I'll be honest with you.
Always yes.
Great.
Always yes.
The first episode that like I clinged on to was when remember the Rowdy Rough Boys? Yep. I remember like that was the episode. I was like, okay, I'm gonna check out this show, and then how like they got defeated by like getting a kiss because of cooties, and then so with all like these shows they all had a revamp before the revamp now.
Yeah.
The better animation. So the first revamp of the the better animation version of Powerpuff Girls was they brought back the Rowdy Rough Boys. I remember every time they kiss them, they just get bigger and bigger. I realize the metaphor now because like they were supposed to be post puberty. Like yeah, we got our cootie shots. And then I can't remember how they won, but like I just remember that they all like they were more. They to me like they were all punky. It's just because like they all had like longer hair and it's kind of like rough around the edges. But then
what was it? One Comic-Con, these guys dressed up in like those in like the prisoners when they
I saw
when
that.
they were pretending to be the Powerpuff Girls.
That was good. That was a good one. You know, like I don't think I'd ever be that guy to cosplay at a thing, but like I want to be. Just because like
you want to be though.
I mean, in terms of like they look so bad. Like I don't think I would have the time or don't want to put in the effort to like make these really great and extravagant costumes. But also too, I also don't want to be extremely obnoxious. I went to Anime Boston once, and there was a chick with like a 10-foot wingspan. That's fucking obnoxious.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, if you ever want to go people watching in Boston, go to Anime Boston.
Go to a Comic-Con.
Go to local. Here's the thing with Anime Boston. So Anime Boston, it's in the Copley Center. It's in the whole like
Yep.
But the thing is, since it's connected to that mall right next to it, if you just sit down in the mall, because everyone has to go through in and out that mall, you just sit there in the mall and you just watch people. And that's it. You don't even have to go inside. You see everyone right there, and you get to judge all their costumes and just see them. I think one of my favorite is that, like, you know, I know you never played Metal Gear Solid, but like one of the big things is that you can hide in a box. And so I saw someone.
I feel like I've seen something like this before.
So like you see some guy dressed as Snake, and then you see him just going. And then you saw him just get in the box and start crawling around. I'm like, the best Snake costume I've ever seen.
Just a box.
But truthfully, like, are you into Sneak games at all?
I can't really say I've played one.
Because like the story for these games are really intense. Like, spoiler alert. Like I remember like in Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, you go into Russia during like the Cold War, and the guy, Naked Snake, he goes there, and then he sees his trainer over there. She defected from America to go join the Soviet Union. And then at the end of it all, you find out the reason why she defected was all part of the American government's plan, so she could gain so because the terrorists, they were Russian terrorists, but they weren't with Russia. They were outside of Russia. So she would join them to steal like something called a whole bunch of money from them called the Philosopher Legacy. So, but like the thing is, in that the people who were in on her whole defection to get that money will understand that she was a hero, but to everyone else, to the entire world, she is a terrorist and she's a terrible person. So when you do that final fight and she admits to all that, and like, you have to kill me, you know, like it's for your country. If you don't kill me, you're just as bad as a traitor I am. It's like, but you're a hero. You're the one that should be getting all the praise. And like, that's not how the world works. And then you have to fucking kill her. And then,
should the writers of the game kept the players even in the dark, or would that have been kind of a moot point?
That would have been a moot point because at the end of the game, you go back and then everyone's like applauding you because her codename was the boss. And then, so that's why in the game you get back is like, oh, you're like, we would give you the title of the boss, but you're better. You're big boss. Because like, so
better.
So because also with that game too, it's also a prequel. Like, oh god, like these games are fucking crazy timelines. So
it's 4, 1, 3, 2, 5, something like that.
It's
ridiculous.
3, 5, 1, 2, 4. And I know it's like Solid Snake's supposed to be the main character, but you only play him in 2 games. And even in like 4, when you play him, he's Old Snake, so he's an old man. But the only reason why he's an old man is because he's kind of a clone. So Big Boss, who is like the greatest soldier of all time in this universe, was such a great soldier, and like we need more guys like him. But since he worked on a nuclear field, he's impotent. So like, whatever the correct word is, he can't have kids because his testes don't work. So when he was put into a coma, they stole his DNA so they could clone him. And then when he woke up from the coma, he realized the government stole his DNA. He's like, "Fuck you! I'm leaving this fucking country. I'm fighting against you guys now. You stole my DNA to make human
my
weapons.
radioactive DNA to make more radioactive clones."
So what happened? It's called the project called Les Terribles Infantes. So this lady was pregnant with 9 kids in her, and what had happened was to make all like two of the kids, two of the cells ate the other 7 cells essentially. So she gave birth to twins. So one of the twins had all his recessive genes, and one had all his dominant genes, and then but because of that it also like fast forwarded, but that also fast forwarded the aging process. So when you play a Snake, realistically, maybe like 5-6 years has passed, so he should be like in his 30s or some shit. He looks like he's in his 50s or 60s. So you don't even play as like the Solid Snake that you see in every other like game when you see him. You only play as that version of Snake in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Okay.
And then Metal Gear Solid 2, which was the biggest troll probably in gaming history. They teased the game and you play because every game has the whole like intro level and then it has the opening credits like how a movie would do and like opening scene and credits. And then as soon as people got excited to play the opening scene with Solid Snake, it switches to another character named Raiden, and they did not and they didn't tease that character in any press release, in any trailers. So everyone who wanted to play this game as Solid Snake, they got Raiden instead. It's like saying, oh yeah, play the new Super Mario, then you play the first level, and then you play as Luigi for the rest of the game.
What was I know in Halo 5 and Bungie's new to do Destiny 2, because Bungie is the original creator of Halo.
Yeah, for the first two Halos.
Yep. But in the two games came out relatively around the same time, maybe one a little bit after, but still, there were just a lot of similarities in Destiny that looked a lot like Halo.
Mm-hmm.
And in Halo 5, they just use a lot of the same terminology that's in Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of feels like they're kind of like stabbing back and forth at one another just because like how blatant and blunt these similarities are. Like they have to be kind of in cahoots somehow.
Yeah, you triggered me about video gaming, so now I'm going to talk about video games for a sec. Now, about what the problem with the gaming industry. Because to me, it's really apparent in Destiny games. Because I really like Destiny. I like playing them.
Oh,
I haven't played Destiny 2 in so long because of the reason.
Here.
But like, it sucks nowadays when you get a game, the vanilla version of the game, as people call it now, that you like. That's like when you buy like a base game, it's like
What
the
do you
vanilla. Like so when you like say if I were to play Destiny without any DLCs, that's Destiny vanilla.
Oh,
it's like basic.
Okay, there's still a fuck ton of objectives and things to do in the Destiny game
Without DLCs?
without DLC.
You can, I don't know, because that's kind of hard. Because like even in Destiny 2, I got to max level really quick, and
Well,
everything needed.
Because you get to level 20 and
No, I'm talking about like light
campaign.
level.
About what?
No, I'm talking about light level.
Oh, I don't.
So like, do you know what the
like your power strength, whatever?
power level? Yeah, your power level. I'm
Okay.
sorry, because it was light level in Destiny 1.
Oh, okay.
Did you play Destiny 1?
No.
You just did 2 then, right?
Yeah.
So in 2, what you know is power level was light level. So that's why I still call it that. But essentially, it seems like you could do things. So like, I only play Destiny once a week because once you get all the powerful Ingrams, they're all your other Ingrams are useless. You only need a powerful Ingram. So then it makes it so like unless you just like playing the game naturally, there's no reason. Like for me, I just like the game. I thought it was a fun game to play because I was like, well, in Call of Duty, you could just do the same shit over them. But even then, you still gain levels. You still can do stuff. I mean, maybe get other guns and stuff like that. But like, I think the point I was trying to make before is that like with every game nowadays, get the base game, but then but you know damn well that's not the complete game. That's why I won't buy a fighting game on release because I know for a fact they'll be releasing additional levels, additional campaigns, additional characters.
Did you fall out of For Honor?
100%.
Really?
100%.
See, I still have the icon on my desktop, and I always look at it. I'm like, should I?
I tried playing it again once, and then twice I tried playing it again, and then I realized that it was just still the same bullshit. All the spear people, and like the Japanese spear lady,
like me,
is still a bitch.
Yeah, that's the only person I actually tried, and I just loved it, and so it's all that I used.
But it just seemed like there's obvious like broken characters. I remember I tweeted at Ubisoft saying, like, I'm pretty sure that people who voted for Donald Trump was like, at least it's not as bad as For Honor.
Jesus.
I even tagged Donald Trump in that thing.
Oh.
I like to imagine Donald Trump saw that and he just nodded his head.
And then bought the game just to see what you were talking about.
What who do you think? Who would you like better as a president? Just going side note, President Trump or President Garrison?
Oh my God.
One of my favorite lines in the new South Park is that like Justin Trudeau version of South Park. It was like, Mr. President, they're questioning your oath of the office. And he was like, my oath of the office was to fuck him to death.
Was to fuck him all to death. Fucking Garrison.
But yeah, back like in terms of video games, like when I'm trying to look over there now, I have video games. But here's the biggest bullshit actually about For Honor is that when they showed you the season pass, like yes, you get all the characters off the bat, but they made it seem like that I couldn't get the extra characters. Technically, I don't have to buy the DLC to get the additional characters. All I have to do is just save up my in-game credits, and then I could just buy the characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, because I was kind of pumped when they brought out the Spartan.
Yeah, so I could buy that.
Then I saw that you needed the season pass, so I didn't even bother.
Yep.
Which is kind of funny too. Like as soon as you start the game, like I expected them to give you like maybe enough credits to buy 1 or 2 characters, but no, they gave you enough to buy the entire roster.
Yep.
Which I thought was really kind of strange.
Okay, look over there. Oh no, just like I mean, I get very picky with the games that I buy, or like even with shooter games. You know, I like Battlefield 1. I just play base version Battlefield 1 just because like it sucks. Like also with my friend brought up with another game with Destiny 2 is that like in theory when you buy like a sequel to the game, it should have maybe what it had. It should have new content, some content from the old game, but essentially the base version of Destiny 2 should be bigger than the base version of Destiny 1. It did. That's kind of how I feel. How like it's kind of like how come I have to in order if I really want to play a game, I have to spend $90 on the game, not $60. Because at this point, like you pay $60 to see if you like the game, then you pay an extra $30 to get the full thing. Like I got Star Wars Battlefront 2. I think it's a fun game. I really like it, but I will not buy a season pass because as far as I see it, it's like no, there's no point buying a season pass because I can still play all the base levels. And that's all I really want. Because, like, how much is all these extra maps going to be? They're probably really cool. But, like, maybe if... Because, like, I also started noticing, too, with this passing holiday season, is that they'll sell you season passes on sale. They were selling the Battlefield 1 season pass, like, for, like, half off, which I wish I bought.
Well, see, I just don't see myself buying a season pass for any other game other than Overwatch. If... Overwatch
doesn't even have a season because they just give everything for free.
They just give, which I love.
But that's because Blizzard had so much money because they don't make many games. And they have enough money from just World of Warcraft alone, which I've read has been going down.
Really?
Yeah, I heard the player
That's
count
their cash cow.
I mean, now it's probably Overwatch. Thing is, like...
Well, with the Overwatch League just starting a couple days ago, probably now, or soon to be, yeah.
Here's my thing with like playing World of Warcraft and any other MMO is that like I can't. I'm so ADHD. I can't just play one game. So like the idea of buying a game and then paying so much per month just to play online for that game, like I really want to play Final Fantasy 14, which is to me a better version of World of Warcraft. Because I just don't like World of Warcraft. I can't take that cartoony style of it. It's just too much for me. I prefer the Final Fantasy design of things. Okay. But like it's like I pay $15 a month for that game.
And that's a monthly to paid to play.
Yeah, it's like World of Warcraft and stuff.
Okay.
Because like, and it sucks. Is like I would love to play that for a few months, but then like what if I get bored? I mean, I can just drop out of it, but like. It's like now every time I want to play this game, I gotta throw in $15. Like fuck that! I already have to pay $60 for the base game. I mean, at least Final Fantasy 14 is nice enough. So like they have a free trial. The free trial is you can make up to 8 characters, and you can grind up to level 35. The only stipulation is you can't join a party, you can't join any guilds, but you can only play solo essentially. Mm-hmm. And just see if you like the game. But then also, like, with playing MMOs, you either like be social, like an online social person, which it's easier for me to be social in person than it is online, because I don't know who the fuck you are online, nor do I care about you, because like I can't understand attitude and shit through text, and like it's just I'm not one to make friends online, like dating apps. No. I can't, like, I don't shit anyone for using dating apps, but I couldn't do it. It's like, I tried using Tinder once. It was like, the thing, it was like, I matched someone, I was like, hey, like this thing, tell me a joke when you talk to me. And then...
That's what she said to you?
No, that's what the profile said. Maybe I made the bad joke. And I was like, how do you make a baby float? And she was like, how? I was like, you take your foot off it. And then it was like... What the fuck? It's just because she was like,
like an icebreaker.
I mean, but like, if you like, my thing is like, if that's like too offensive to you, or if like, I want to say that she may have hinted. I was like, oh yeah, I have a dark sense of humor. First of all, if anyone says to you, oh yeah, I have a dark sense of humor, they don't
test them.
You test them, yeah, because more than likely they don't have a dark sense of humor.
What's worse? 11 dead babies nailed to one tree.
One dead babies nailed
one
tree.
Just nailed to 11.
Dude, I used to be the master of dead baby jokes in high school.
Oh god.
I've been slapped because of my dead baby jokes.
Oh my god.
I've offended my friend's dad's girlfriend because she had ovarian cancer, so she can't have babies. So when I was making dead baby jokes, she thought I was mocking her or something like that. She got offended.
That's awful.
So my friend's dad didn't like me for a while because of that reason. I mean, if you can't take a joke, then I'm sorry. That's on you. My therapist taught me that you don't make someone feel some type of way. They just feel that some type of way. So I shouldn't take any guilt from it. So if I said a joke and you get offended,
I can
sorry.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Like I meant this. That's one of my problems with society of like, oh yeah, you don't assume the intentions of my word. If I say something, you can't just say, oh, you meant but that. I'm like, no, you don't. How do you know that? You don't know what I meant.
You don't know me.
You don't know me. Man, but actually, looking back over at those games, you should really play XCOM War of the Chosen. Oh, they changed the entire
War of
thing.
The Chosen, is that like a third XCOM game?
No, so XCOM, so it's a DLC. The only DLC for it. So DLC they just give you additional levels or additional characters. Mm-hmm. For War of the Chosen, they changed the entire game. So like you have different rooms and they have different aspects. They have different missions, different maps. So the whole War of the Chosen aspect is they add 3 characters called the Chosen. All 3 of them own certain parts of the world. And then when you play levels in their area, they could show up and fuck up your entire thing. So and also what they also could do is that they could knock out your character, and if you don't save them in time, they could just literally like, nope, they're mine, and they just take them.
And just take them?
Yep.
Oh.
And then you have to do like side ops. You do background missions where like you send so many soldiers to find information, and then once they find enough information, like you could do a mission to save that soldier and bring them back so they could be better, so they'd be on your side. Especially if she steals like one of your best soldiers, you can at least get that soldier back soon to level grab another character. But the thing is, every time they do that, they get information about your whereabouts, and then they could attack your ship directly. Now that you remember, because you played regular XCOM 2, right?
I've played XCOM 2, right?
Do you remember? Did you ever do the mission where like the UFO like takes down your ship?
Maybe not.
There's
maybe I didn't get that far.
There's it's something that like I think happens every game through with like there's a UFO that's going around the world, and eventually it catches up to you, brings down your ship, and then this is a level where like you could potentially use all your soldiers at once. You could have like 12 soldiers on the field.
Oh wow!
And because essentially because you're defending the ship because it's grounded, what you have to do is send all your soldiers to attack like a power generator that's grounding your ship. And once you attack the generator, you have to get all your soldiers back on the platform, then go out. But like, say if you're a dick and there are 2 soldiers you don't care about in the field, you can just leave without them.
You can just leave them. That's great.
And then they're marked as MIA.
Oh my god, it would suck if they took Zeus.
Also, there was
the one character I used as much as I possibly could.
Well, so here's another thing that you're probably not gonna like about this new one. I mean, it adds another thing. So like when you have characters, that you use all the time,
Mhm.
characters get tired now. So even if they don't take damage,
They get tired before too. Like I said, like as much as I could.
I mean, like tired. I mean, like but like so even if they didn't take damage though.
Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking about. Okay, yeah.
So like if they take damage, they wouldn't want to like, use them. But like if my snipers never took damage because they're always so far away from the action. So
Right.
if I would use the same sniper every mission, if I did like 5 missions in a row, like yeah, this person's tired, so they wouldn't want to do it. So their psych's low, their reflexes are low, so everything's low. You could bond your characters. So if like I could bond my two, you and I were characters in my game. But like say if I died in the mission that you're
my
on,
guy's like traumatized.
but like the thing is like you'll freak out. So like you're like, oh my god, your character will literally run to another cover, make a random fire. So when it's my turn again, you're still shocked. So I can use.
I'm out of position and I'm just
I don't know.
exposed.
Yeah, dude. There's that. They added a couple new classes. Even with the new classes that are
New
OP.
classes too.
So, there's your resistance. Then there are 3 other resistance: the Templars, the Reapers, and the Brawlers. And those are all the other. The Brawlers are ex aliens who broke the conditioning. And they're like, yeah, we don't like our alien overlords. We're gonna fucking kill them. We don't like being. We're for peace. And so they're really cool. They're more melee and like they can shoot twice in a turn. Then they have the Reapers who are more sneaky snipers. Then they have the Templars who are all physical. They do psychic stuff. You can control people and psych them out. Where you have these 2 double swords and you go up and attack people. And every time you do a close up attack, you can just run away.
Oh.
Yeah, and then
so you're not locked there like with the ranger?
Yep. See, but also too, if you when you kill someone, you with your combat attack, your attacks become stronger and stronger. So once you get a 3-bar, your attack that could do 5 to 6 damage could do like 8 to 9 damage after you kill so many people. That's fucking.
Yeah, no, I hated the rangers.
Really?
I'm sorry if you they did a ton of damage, but okay, I killed the frontline guy. Now he's dead.
Well, I mean the rangers. That's why I would always, if I would use like the sword attack, I would always put them where they were in cover. That or like I would give them the later on in the skill tree is that every time they kill someone, they get another moving action. So you would just use that to kill someone, and then you just make them run away. But also, never ever use ranger on a muton, like the one with the green armor and the pink face. The most annoying. There were specific enemies that like even if you had a 94% hit chance with the sword, you'd always miss. Always miss. I've never hit a muton once with a up close physical attack. They always. And
are those the snake people?
No, they're the ones with the green armor and the pink face. That's all I can remember them as. Have you ever played Fire Emblem? If you like those strategy type games.
I tried it. I borrowed a game for the 3DS, but my buddy asked for it back, so I didn't get a chance to finish it.
What's really cool about the newest, not the last one they put out for the 3D, not Heroes. There's another one called Fates, where you had it was your main character was from this kingdom called the Hoshido, but as a baby you were kidnapped by the Nor kingdom. So
that's the one that I played.
So after you played the first 3 levels, you decided where you want to go.
Well, but depending on which game you have to pick that one.
But that's why when I bought the game initially, I was like, hey guys, buy the other version with it, because you bought the game for $40, and then you paid $20 for the other version, which was nice.
I didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
But then there's even a third version. There's a third timeline where it's like, yeah, it's
where you go on your own, I think.
Yeah, but then apparently you recruit everyone from both storylines. But in order to get the full story, you have to play all 3.
Mm-hmm.
But you remember which one you played? If you were the samurais or the knights?
The knights.
Yeah, that one was a lot harder.
Which I enjoy because I like to think about, because I love strategy. So that didn't bother me in the least.
Also, because the levels are harder, because in the Hoshido ones, that was Bloodright. That one, all those were just like, oh yeah, kill the enemy. Versus the Nora ones, the one you played, was ones like, yeah, you have to go to this checkpoint, you have to defend this spot. There were more, like other objectives that weren't so simple, which I like.
Which maybe that's why I liked it, because there were times where I had to stretch myself really thin and then kind of have to snap right back. But no, there was just one that I just could not for the life of me get past. My team was at the beginning of the map already split. So it was
I hate that.
And there was no way for me to connect them to group up. And they had, I think, 3 times as many bad guys on both sides. So just a loss every time, no matter which route I took.
And also with that game in terms of the meta, could you ever get to the point where like you had people have the max romance? So like, but it is relevant because you get child units. So when you get the child units, so basically my character would hook up with another female character, and then they would have a baby, and they would put their baby in an alternate universe. So like, yeah, no, we're in a place of war, so I want to make sure you're safe. But when they put this character, their child in the alternate universe, time passes in that alternate universe faster. So when you visit them, they're already like 15, 16 years old, and you're like, in your 20s, which that's weird. But essentially, they fight for you. Mm-hmm. And the thing you have to think about when you do that type of thing is that, so like, say if I want to like romance my character with another character, I have to think, well, it's like genetics. You have to think, well, because you know how your characters get special abilities, because mm-hmm. like your child will have half of the mother's abilities, half the father's abilities, and their stats will be weighed on both of their stats. So you have to think, well, these two are badass characters, and their skills will go together. So basically, I should put these 2 characters together, and they'll have one of the greatest soldiers I'll ever have. So it's a huge metagaming is one of those like I never get into, but it's always so fascinating to read upon. That's why I like Dark Souls.
Okay.
You ever play Dark Souls?
I have not. See, Dark Souls is too much for me.
It's not that hard. I was talking about this the other day,
and it's just so much.
Truthfully, like me and my friend was talking about me and my friend, my roommate Zach Cannon on the last episode, is that how people talk about like, oh my god, it's the hardest game, but in actuality, it's not that hard of a game. It's a hack and slash that you have to not even think about more. You just have to think about what you're gonna wear. And you just gotta think about your moveset.
You think about what you're gonna wear.
I mean, like your armor set is kind of like like in terms of weight.
Like your armor does X amount of power ups, something.
And then like in your weapons too, like like how much damage, because like all your weapons are derived from your stats. So like, oh, it has an S in this, but like it's C in that. It's the problem with Dark Souls is that like when I explain things to you, because it's not in front of you, it sounds complicated, but like once, like if you turn it on and start playing it, like you could just start playing it right now, and it'll be. I truthfully think you'll be fine, if you personally. But the thing about what people are scared about is like, oh my god, when you die, you lose all your souls. It's not like you go back to level 1. It's just kind of like in order to level up, you accumulate souls, and to make those souls stay with you, you have to go to a bonfire and level up. And at that point, your souls are safe within inside of you because you're leveled up. Because when I first heard about the game, I thought you go down to level 1 every time you die.
Right. And
that was not the case. And even more so, like, I always talk about Dark Souls, but realistically, my favorite was Bloodborne, which was like the more Victorian Gothic one, which was more faster. There's no blocking. The guy who made the game, because people know him as Dark Souls guy, trolled the people. He put one shield in the base game. And it was a wooden shield, and I think the description was like,
which is like a one-hit shield.
Yeah, it was like it can protect you, I guess. Because he told you, because he straight up said like, yo, like whereas Dark Souls you should be defending and watching people, in Bloodborne you should always be constantly moving and doing that. That's why I like Neo.
I'm gonna pause on Neo for a moment because I know you've talked about that in the past, and I know that you like it. You said Victorian Gothic, and before you asked me if I had played a Sneak game, I've played the first Dishonored.
I've never played that.
That game is righteous. I love that game so much.
I think I have because it was for free. I don't know what's because I have Xbox One and PS4. I don't know which one it was on, But I do have. I think it's probably Xbox. Xbox gives a lot better games for their like monthly subscription people.
I play on PC, so I just don't know.
You don't have either console. You don't have either console.
My dad and I split the cost of an Xbox One just so we can play Madden together, but that's really it. We don't have live or anything like that.
You could play Battlefront with me. It's the only thing I play. Battlefront or Battlefield 1. Truthfully, ever since I played Battlefield, I never want to play Call of Duty again.
Really?
Just because like I like the realism, because also, but more so than that, I really, really like the massive online multiplayer. It's just because like the whole 8v8 or like with Destiny 2 the 4v4 is I mean I guess it's cool. I still really like this, but like the chaos of like 32v32.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus.
It's just kind of like you have all these planes, all these tanks, where you think you're like that's because my favorite thing to do in all these battlefields is like I'll get really high point, especially in the castle area, and I'll just start sniping people off. And also with this versus Call of Duty is that like Call of Duty, you snipe someone, you got them on your crosshairs, shoot, they're there, they're dead. Yep. Versus in Battlefield, now you have to accumulate for bullet drop, which I really like. It's more the more I have to think for a video game, the more I like it.
Oh yeah, like that's why I like Overwatch, because it is just the different toolkits and strategies.
Oh, I mean, like I will give Overwatch that credit because like I know like a lot of my roommates here play Overwatch and whatnot. I just can't do it
on PC.
No, they're all PS4.
Gay.
Have you played Fortnite?
I watch the videos for it all the time, but no.
It's free, Oh,
well then shit, I'll be downloading that soon.
It's okay. So let me clarify that the multiplayer is free, but there's a single player like a campaign.
Oh,
that the PvE is that. So don't pay for PvE because I have PvP. PvP is free.
That's awesome. No way.
So you should totally play because like it's because that it's 100 people free for all. You just drop down from the bus, right?
So it's like a cartoony PUBG is what I kind of see it as.
Yeah, I really want to either. I want to play PUBG a lot because also one of the problems I have with Fortnite is that you die really easily. In PUBG, you live a little bit long. Because I was watching a comparison video to see what the difference is. Because also in Fortnite you can build things,
which I love. Which I think would be
that's why that's why for when you play, some people just before like the storm starts coming, they just break a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't break anything. I just look for people.
I'll be getting that game soon because I think it'd be fun. Because I've seen people. There's the one GIF going around now where the character just dabs as the rocket just zips right under. Right under the arm.
I saw that. Luckiest
God,
person ever.
There was the one guy that jumped, like his buddy fired a rocket launcher and he jumps onto the rocket with the sniper rifle armed. And so he just flies towards the bad guys on the rocket launcher. Or on the rocket.
Let's see how long we've been going for. Holy shit.
It's been a while.
We've been going on for over 2 hours, dude.
Has it?
Right? Yeah, this is 131.
Damn.
132 minutes. Holy shit. I mean, I could talk. I was just very curious to where we were at.
Well, I'm confident with that record.
Right? The longest episode.
Confident. Episode 2. Look out.
New year, new me. Man.
Let's see. So who's going to be on for number 3?
So as of now, I have my friend Derek Weber. I don't know if you've seen him from the school.
I know the name.
He's my friend. He's one of my friends who was visited. He has like the big beard and the crazy colored mohawk.
I think he came in one day at Ops.
Yeah,
I think he came in one day at Ops.
Yeah, I probably was like, just come back here. Because one of the best thing about me working at Ops when being manager is like, I don't give a fuck. I'm manager. You can come back here. There were a lot of people I let back. Even actually, there were some people even as like a student worker let back there. I always met this photographer named Matt. I don't want to just drop last names in here. No. Rick, you know what I'm talking about? The video guy Rick. He's blonde hair.
No, I don't.
He was I'm gonna give him on the podcast too, but Rick I always let back there because I always trusted him. And then so I have Derek for episode 3. Garfield, I'm gonna have come here soon. I told you about what I'm gonna do
He'll
for
be good.
Photoshop. Yeah, he'll be good.
Garfield.
Zach Cannon, episode 1. I imagine he's gonna be a reoccurring guest. I need to get some crazy people. I need to get like conspiracy theorist type of guy. I have my this not gonna be in person yet because he lives in Connecticut. But my friend brother Nico, he called me brother Zach, and I keep calling him brother Nico. He's we're both into like I on my new job. I work at t-shirts at the factory, and every lunch break, because I don't talk to my coworkers. I like lately, because it's been cold outside. I've been reading a book and eating my sandwich. I used to go. There's like a park right across the street from my job. I used to sit in the park and just also my earbuds have a microphone, so I just put the earbuds in and call someone for a half hour every break. I reconnected with my friend Nico from Connecticut. I haven't talked to him in like a year or two or whatever, and we're both really into Joe Rogan. We're both really into like fucking like I don't know, live like Milo-esque politics and just like trolling people and shit. And then we're like, he's like a great artist. Like we talk about like some UFC things, some conspiracy theory type of things, and it's just all this crazy stuff. So I want to get him in here. My friend Corey, I want to get on here. He listens to this. Big ups to you. If you listen to this far, Corey, thank you. I'm just still trying to get people like Dan from my Facebook, who was I mentioned to you in that comments feed. I first mentioned the podcast in my Facebook comments. The other kid,
tall,
not Dan from you. Okay. Remember the tall Danny, but like from Dan from like the Facebook comments. I said it down here, but just anyone really. It's casual.
Yeah.
It's called casual conversations. Just like I'm not trying to figure out how to like solve world hunger. I'm not trying to debate people about. Truthfully, I'd rather not talk about politics on this, just because politics is so much bullshit. And at the end of the day, politics doesn't like. No matter what, I'm just a citizen. I'm not going to affect politics that much unless I'm a politician, and then but. Oh God, I haven't even gone into that. But nonetheless, I'm just trying to get more people from this, because I would like to do this on a weekly basis. And I don't want to get too much into it, but like from what I understand, I'm going to be joining another podcasting channel.
Ooh.
Yeah,
like for politics or?
No, I'm not. No, fuck not for politics.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. I ain't no politician.
I was like, wait a minute, that's such a left turn from what you were just saying.
I know. I feel most people would kind of drop off by now, but so do you remember like Dane? From
Yep.
So he has a podcast I mentioned earlier, The Men Who Sit, and they have that. He asked me to join me part of that podcast, and it would be like a once a month thing. It'd be him and his friend Tyler, and I mean he's my friend too because I met him. But like he's Tori's cousin.
Yep.
Tori being, if you don't know me, like a good friend of mine, like a close friend of mine who's passed away. Dane's his cousin, and I met Dane and their friend Tyler through her. So we're gonna reconnect new podcasts together. But that's all coming in the future. But you know what, dude? I don't think we should give people this much entertainment. I think we should
cap it
off. So thank you, Monty, for being not only episode 2, but being my first guest of 2018, man.
Hey now.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put down a plaque and put it on your wall.
You should make me a plaque.
Maybe I will.
Ooh.
Dude, I gotta find out what we're gonna Photoshop for this episode.
See, I was thinking like the family photos, like those ugly family photos.
Oh,
I thought that'd be funny.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is Casual Conversations with Zachy T, and episode 2, and a wrap.